Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the stream. Shout outs to Capcom for sponsoring our look today at Onimusha Way of the Sword.
Let's go.
The demo is now out. And yeah, this is, of course, the latest in the Onimusha series. And we took a look at Onimusha, not too long ago. We played the first one. And
A classic.
exactly, got into the Isen system, got into the slashes, demon slaying, and the ability.
We're getting brand new stuff.
And now we're getting brand new stuff.
Let's go.
So yeah, it's the return, and you got your your classic return to samurai action. You have the Oni gauntlet as well, the classic Onimusha, like, kill everything. You got the little, exactly, right, you got the Oni around, and you power up with that. So all of that is going to be going down. And yeah, this is also a tale 1,000 years in the making, set in a historically reimagined feudal Japan.
Okay.
So that's all cool. More particularly, of my direct interest, it's about Miyamoto Musashi.
Oh, one of your favorites.
Who is, I mean,
like, yeah. Okay. Got it.
That boy.
A class act.
That was accidental. I wasn't even thinking today. That was completely accidental.
That was all aura.
I didn't even think. I woke up this morning and I just put a shirt on, and I'm sitting here going, oh,
wait a minute.
I put on a Musashi
You're super
shirt.
ready for this.
That was not even. That's crazy. So, like, legit, like, that's cool. And from seeing all the promotional material as well, it's not just Musashi, but it's also Sasaki Ganryu, right? The rival, who that's a character who's, historically, there's a lot of different looks, a lot of different interpretations on him. I'm very happy with what I see, with the long hair, the pretty face. He's looking sleek, so I'm very, very curious to see the interpretation of these two, taking each other on, and the rivalry plus demons added into the mix, so yeah, more to it. Onimusha Way of the Sword will be available on September 25th on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Steam, and Epic Games.
Awesome.
You can play the demo and get an in-game reward, and if you pre-order, you can get multiple in-game rewards. So be sure to check it out. Pre-order is available now. And yeah, let's check out. Apparently there is a whole bunch of cool finishing animations and ways to Isen and your enemies out and take them out. So let's see what's going on.
Swing your blades.
Swing your blade true. You see how infinite you are? Hop right into it.
Press any button.
Yeah, so I know that historically Sasaki Kojiro is the rival. Ganryu is the style that he uses. So I'm like, you're putting the style name and him, but we know who it is. We know who it is historically. And if I get a boat oar of a sword, someone's getting thunked in the head.
Get your gauntlet. Oh, it's pulsating. Select a difficulty level.
All right. I did see a little option. There's a ton of options up top, including like whether you want to have parry and dodge on your shoulders or on the face buttons. Combat focus. Action. Let's go.
And you can change it anytime you want. Product is a work of fiction created by Capcom that happens to be set in Kyoto. The people, organizations, legends, history, and themes depicted are not intended to reflect or support any particular worldview.
Against his will, Miyamoto Musashi has become an Onimusha. Oh, what happened? Oh, how did we get here? He was chilling in a cave, writing the Book of Five Rings, and then carving a path through the Genma monstrosities, invading the capital. Musashi finds himself at Kiyomizu-dera Temple. He's been tasked with purifying the Kiseki. Most eerie phenomena play out before Musashi's eyes as he traverses the twisted malice. temple grounds, accompanied only by the mysterious voice that rings out from his only gauntlet. Having defeated the Genma that stood in his way, Musashi is greeted by a long-standing rival, cross-sword with many attacks.
This is Kiyomizadera Temple. That really was instant.
So the first thing I noticed is that, that you might recall too as well.
Right. Let's purify this place and see if that won't wake up Gorgon Lady.
This is not the Onimusha 1 fixed camera angle game that it used to be from back then, right? It is a
you would see the whole square area and stuff.
Full 3D experience. It's not that Resident Evil kind of like, you know, with swords kind of thing. Ooh.
Oh, why you
the cocky?
Oh, why you have to put the sass on it?
You put a little English on it, you know?
Look at the flick of the wrist.
Yeah. You gotta let him know. You gotta let him know. All right, what do we got? We got our dodge.
If you didn't know about Musashi, you about to learn.
We got our block / parry, light attack, and heavy.
Yeah.
Absorb. And we're good. Again, you know, no wasted movements is the philosophy, but if you intimidate your opponent, is it really a wasted movement?
Just the bastards I'm looking for.
What did they do? Huh?
Bro, you just gonna eat that crow like that? Eating crow metaphorically does not mean eating it literally.
Stamina and break Isen. Press triangle or circle near exhausted enemy. Without stamina, the body cannot do as the mind wishes. Land attacks on enemies or deflect theirs to deplete their stamina, making them exhausted and open to break Isen attacks.
Yeah, you might remember in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom when you're using Soki, and you slash and then slash again, and you get that
Mm-hmm,
right?
yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that the Isen.
Woo!
When an enemy stamina is low, their body will turn red and crack. Depleted stamina will recover over time, so keep a close eye on your opponent if you want to exploit the advantage it offers.
Yeah, the chest are glowing.
Crack the red.
Oh. Split in two. Red souls. Absorbing red souls will make various enhancements available. They are left behind by fallen enemies, and finishing an enemy with a break Isen will make even more of them appear.
Now that was a swing about to come down.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what happens here.
Oh, you parried! I didn't think you would have had the time.
Half and half. Okay.
Okay, Musashi.
I mean, that was all in the pause time, so yeah, and then we can absorb you healing or get that timing down. You can't let's see.
What's all that noise?
I can absorb while I'm moving. Don't have to stand still.
Oh, cool. That's helpful.
Smarter than I thought.
A hint of intelligence. Oh, triangle per circle?
Oh, a little late on that.
Oh no, yellow souls.
All right, hold up.
Are sometimes left behind by defeated enemies. Absorb them to restore your health. The lower your health, the more your enemies will leave behind.
Okay.
Ouch.
Ooh.
And there's the red on you too. Pee off. Yo!
There's a little hesitation before the swing there. We'll get our timing down.
They gave you the oh.
Yeah.
Let me through.
Thank you. We'll unblock the gate right away.
Just a movement in there.
Thank you, Samurai.
What's up, Taro?
Things had broken through the gate.
Definitely a Taro.
None of the people taking refuge here would have had a chance. It's horrible. The temple grounds are just a killing field full of monsters. How can this happen? This is a temple. It's blasphemy.
I always wondered if, like, you know, the fashionable, like, paved
If the entrance is
samurai
bad,
haircut
the inside must be a mess.
was like old dudes tricking younger people into like thinking, nah, it looks cool.
That's cool.
I always wondered that. I have no way to prove it, but
That stage is going to haunt my nightmares. I can't stop thinking about it. That stage is going to haunt my nightmares. I can't stop thinking about it.
Praying monk.
Nami Dabiabutsu. Alright. The only monk I want to see is Takuan, right? Hello. Okay. Well, would you mind if I took your stuff?
Mild restoratives. For his health for a short duration. Down to use item or left to select? Let the priest in. The priest okay?
I'm just gaming it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Just gaming it out.
Maybe there are secrets in the corner. Yes, destroy!
How you doing?
I never thought I'd make it back here alive. The Buddha watches over me.
Is it really that bad out there?
There's nothing but fiends and horror beyond here. If you mean to pass through, I urge you reconsider.
Fiends, huh? Just what I'm looking for.
Looking for a challenge.
Looking to be invincible under the sun. Hey, you're human, right? Okay.
You okay?
Malice is thickest over there.
I can't lock onto you, so yes. You're okay.
How do I get there?
Big malice.
I wish wish I could see malice like that
Right? That would
around
be
certain
easy.
people.
Make your way to the stage. Stage is set us at Kiyomizu.
All right, got a line. Look at the map to see story-related destinations. Current destinations will be marked with a special icon.
Friend or foe?
Cannot lock on, so you are friends.
Party over there, I guess.
You made it. You made it. You're good. Oh! Ooh.
Parries and the blazing state. Press square just before being hit. Blocking just before an enemy attack lands will trigger a parry. Parrying weapon-based attacks will open up a window of vulnerability. The larger the window, the more impressive effects you'll see.
That's why I saw two styles of parry just now.
Oh.
The slower one and then the big one. Yeah, that.
Parry enemy strikes to fill your blaze gauge.
Blaze gauge.
Enter the blazing state, during which time you will deal greater damage. You will remain in the blazing state until the blue gaze empties.
That's what was going on.
That's the blue stuff we're
I
seeing.
see. All right, just blaze.
Well, a bit too late for that one.
Yeah. Smoke fake. Okay.
That's how it's done.
All right.
I pressed
all
one
right.
too many times there. I gotta wait for the prompt to get that.
Ah! Get that blue going.
Yeah, I think this I took a look at already, but yeah, the menu.
Reflex dodge. And reflex combos. Press X just before being hit. Fill your reflex gauge and press triangle or circle to unleash a deadly reflex combo. The quickest way to fill it is to reflex dodge unarmed attacks, but any reflex dodge will help at least a little.
Oh, so there's a second defensive way to play here. Okay. So using the dodge button
Oh.
instead, and then attack, you build your reflex gauge.
Read your opponents to avoid taking damage. You can even add insult to injury, reducing stamina with a counter after evading an unarmed attack with a reflex dodge, for example.
Cool. I like that there's both options available.
With square and with X. Oh! Try to hit you with the boot.
I like that we have both options available. Oh.
This one is...
Yeah,
Yep.
sorry, bro. Not a hero's wound.
Oh no,
Archer.
no. Oh no! So tragic.
Lock on. Yeah, alright.
They're cutting through. But so are you. Saya! Oh, double.
Two. How can I deal with you?
Hey, get down here. You have to keep going? Oh! We're gonna ignore him for now.
No, we're going up.
You're nothing.
Tell him, Musashi. They're gonna learn today.
Okay, I want to see some of these.
Hey!
One into the other.
Oh, let's go!
Nice.
Nice little combo.
Yeah. Oh,
Ouch.
Archer.
Rude.
And of course, as your Musashi, you a lesser defense talisman. Okay.
Reduces health and stamina damage.
Bad time to read that.
Yeah, for a certain amount of time.
Can't go under. As your Musashi, pulling out that second sword, getting the wakizashi out there, you know, going Tanto style is essential signature.
Nothing in the pot. A little river. What the heck is that? The
Healing?
Hozuki pouches, which
them
may
up.
be used to restore health and can be picked up in your travels or replenished from your storehouse. Oh, pick up your Hozuki.
Okay. I always like when you have like a forward dodge and that can go like through or under something
Yeah.
coming at you. That's always slick. So I think I gotta time it a bit better and see if that's still there's any invincibility frames.
Dashing under an arrow.
Yeah.
Huzzah!
Exactly. You know the deal.
Deflect with square and the left stick towards the enemy
Oh.
just before being hit
Direction.
to significantly deplete enemy stamina.
There's so many ways to defend.
Arrows and other such ranged projectiles can also be deflected.
I see.
It doesn't provide an opening for follow-up attacks like parries do, but makes up for it by rapidly pushing the enemy towards exhaustion.
That's the third style of defensive
defense.
mechanic.
You're just fuel for the gauntlets.
You ran past me there, buddy.
Oh, that looks so good. Just the steel clashing.
And now we got the juice. Good time to make it up to you, but stuff's going on over here.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, we're archered up. Not like that.
Go through here. Aha!
Over this way.
Up. Oh!
Nice. A little temporary
That's
shielding.
pretty cool. Let's go.
Nice, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yes!
Oh, it works! That's so cool!
Yes!
You dodge right through.
That's exactly what I wanted.
Always
Hell
gotta
yeah.
look cool. Always gotta look cool.
Oh, that's great. Okay, where was that talisman? Is that a passive? Oh, I'm just looking at the map for now.
Oh, there's no inventory you can access for the touchpad or something. Oh,
D-pad, talismans, here we go.
but yeah, for a short duration, right? You
Right.
can activate those.
Right.
It's around the corner. Always be ready.
I got my fingers resting on 2 defensive buttons, Reggie. Couldn't be more ready.
Spirit mirror unlocked. You can use spirit mirrors to save your progress at any time. Additionally, making contact with a spirit mirror will restore your health completely. Anything you cannot carry will be sent to your storehouse. Access it using a spirit mirror to replenish and reorganize your inventory.
Okay.
You can also save.
He's in. And store the overflow. Okay.
What's that?
Whoa.
Ooh.
The gauntlet. What's it doing?
Whoa, what?
I don't remember this part in the Book of Five Rings. Whoa. But then again, the first game resurrected zombie Nobunaga. So, you know, we're having fun.
Don't bring them! Hurry to the stage. Faster!
The power of the Oni is within your eyes as well. It must have been awakened by the dark mass you absorbed.
What's that thing?
A concentration of the malice in this area, along with memories of the cruelty that created it. To To purify this temple, you'll need to find the source of this vision.
Right, Gauntlet Lady. Enough of that. If you're awake, I've got questions.
I refuse.
Daga Kotowaru.
You listen here.
I won't answer, questions or otherwise, to Gauntlet Lady.
Ooh.
I was briefly awake thanks to the energy of that dark mass. But now I am not.
Hey,
You're supposed to be my helpful buddy. You mean no? That's not very tutorial-y.
You gotta help me. The first 30 minutes, come on.
Nah, though. Get good.
I still have to find more malice.
Follow the sadness.
Mm-hmm.
So what's over there? Alright, nothing for now. Now back to the sadness.
it's trying to tell me something.
Oni vision.
Use Oni vision to make visible that which is hidden to the human eye. The Oni gauntlet will glow brightly when hidden objects are nearby.
Creepy.
Ooh.
At it.
Threads. This thing's making the threads.
That is creepy.
You don't need finger spiders.
Finger
chilling,
spiders.
Man, we don't need them. That can back to the nightmares with you. So far, nothing in those, but I'll keep swinging.
Yeah, all these spots can get it.
I get the feeling cool stuff is happening behind this gate.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Mild restorative.
Gradually restores health over time. Okay. Health and stamina. Lesser defense, lesser might. I see.
Oh, ho, ho.
I see.
Did you get stuck in the wall?
You sure did. Dylan?
Get back here.
No worries.
Running with its tail on its head.
Ooh, there's one behind.
Spinning. Yeah.
Okay, so I pushed forward and it bounced back straight in front of me. And if I aim it to the side,
You
it
deflected
shoots
it.
into a wall.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So pick where you want to bend it.
This one's a good pot. Never mind.
That pot, though. Anything over here? Nope. Just benches. Be chill.
Just a chill spot, you know. Drink your tea. Write some haikus.
Blade barrages.
Crossing swords with the enemy will initiate a blade barrage.
Whoa!
To break it, you'll need to execute a different attack to the enemy. Forging ahead with the same move will only result in defeat.
Oh.
Triangle or circle.
If you go light and they go light and you clash, you gotta mix it up. That's cool. Okay.
To break a blade barrage, you'll need to initiate a different attack than the one with which you started. So if it was a one-handed attack, press circle. And if it was two-handed, press triangle.
Right. That looks pretty dynamic.
Yo! Ducking under?
Yeah, the confidence.
Koi!
No, okay, I tried to time it. Yes!
Oh!
That's cool. That's cool.
That stench. They really aren't taking prisoners.
So cool.
That was fun.
Haha! 楽しかったんです.
Absolutely cocky. Has not yet felt the weight of the world. Oh!
Oh, that's what's going on.
I see. What's your problem?
What's your problem?
Right? I don't trust that explosion, actually. That looks sus.
Better respect it. Oh!
Stealth is an option.
All right.
Pull up.
Leave no survivors.
You're nothing.
Feel like you get some good range on that descent distance too. I want to test the maximum on that.
That's good.
That looks kind of progressy. So let's see what's going on.
Minor miracle cure. You should be afraid.
Running
Oh, that's
sideways.
cool. That's so cool.
You even trying, monster?
Ooh, the kick.
We're done here.
Interesting. They got a couple different moves.
Yeah.
Box. Nope.
Nothing.
Oh.
What? No. One day.
I feel it. This will pay off.
Okay, I guess you can use that to tackle enemies, maybe.
Knock demons over. That's an embarrassing way to go if you're a demon. What'd you get killed by? Musashi. That sword, right? Wheelbarrow.
Yeah, sure. That sword. that sword. That's what happened.
Bro, you got wheelbarrowed? Never leave hell again.
Just stay here.
Another one. What a pain in my ass.
Alright.
It was far.
See, the good thing about using the vision to see these puzzles is you absolutely want to kill the creepy spider finger monster.
Way, huh? Guess I've got to go around the back.
Even if it didn't open a gate, I'd be hunting these things down. Perhaps the way I came?
Maybe around the building, or
Follow the wall. Oh, we don't hop. Back through.
aha.
There we go. Absolutely die, monster.
Exterminate.
You do not belong in this world.
Wait, was that?
There was a second rope going this. It opened up the back.
Gotcha.
Looks like it stretches out behind the building.
We'll have to go through this safe area, right? Nah.
Okay, but we know that there's demons in some of them. So
That can still play out.
it's still worth doing.
Uh-huh. Assassinations. It's possible to fell an enemy in one blow by sneaking up on them from behind. Just don't move too quickly, lest you blow your cover.
Oh, we learned.
That was easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you identified immediately the other samurai fantasy of like running sideways with the enemy at the same time.
With the camera panning, following,
slash. Come on,
cutting through bamboo and stuff. Yo.
Give me a chance to start running sideways with a demon, please. I will even match pace, you know? Start slow, hoof a little bit. Love that. Love that for me.
Admiring his skill.
Miracle cure. Cures and briefly prevents burning an oil soaked status enemy. Okay. Fire.
Oh, thank you for giving us the option.
Yeah. I almost wondered, is there like a cut through it? Yes, there is. Why else would you have that set up, right?
We thought about it. Break lock.
Oh.
Oh, we have a room? We have a party?
Oh. Let's try that again.
Oh,
No mercy.
yes. Mm.
Multiple.
Yes.
Isen.
Crack to crack. Whoa.
Lock on.
All these demons are evil.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with the... Here we go. Yes!
Perfect dodge.
Surrounded. I know there's a flyer too. Where'd it go? There it is.
Sokores. Over there. Okay, arrows flying. One strike. Yo.
If you could aim that towards the other enemy, actually. Whoa. We ain't done.
Point blank parry.
Come on now.
Such aura. Musashi.
You're within slashing distance. I know. Just for the flex.
Oh gosh.
Little crevice over there.
Into a cavern.
Let's see if this was an opening door. Yes.
Lesser soul crystal. Crystallize Genma souls. It will cause an array of souls to materialize.
Alright. Do the rocks.
What's that verb? Sidle?
Sidle? Sidle through?
Oh, okay. I'm learning.
Good old squeeze.
And that's a lot of demon rope. Oh!
Stuff in there. That's bait.
Yep.
I'm taking it.
Looking around?
Yeah.
Just, okay.
Coast is clear? Coast is
Alright.
clear.
The two Celestials, a pair of blades forged by Oni craftsmen. They extract yellow souls from those they strike down.
Okay. Ooh. Press R1 when the Oni power gauge is sufficiently filled. Oni armaments deplete the Oni power gauge in order to unleash special attacks. For example, the two Celestials will execute a string of special attacks. Extract yellow souls from enemies. Okay.
For the healing.
Okay.
Kinda reminds me of the gauntlet. Did the Oni make these too?
There's a meter for that.
Okay, yeah.
So those are, yeah, special for evoking particular type of souls. Okay. Well, we got to build up the meter for it.
No traps here, please.
This would be a great time to ambush.
Eh?
Oh, you're holding it cocky too.
Oh, you want this fight, huh?
Absolutely.
Show me what you've got.
Ooh. Okay, okay, okay.
Oh, it's sturdy. Absorbing blue souls will fill the Oni power gauge, enabling you to use Oni armaments. Blue souls appear when you land attacks on enemies, and more will appear the lower the Oni power gauge is.
Okay. Yes. I did a different kind of counter in the last fight, where I used attack at the last possible second, and it did an ESET as well.
Okay.
So just to say, there's even more stuff. Like I pressed a last minute like swing, and it absolutely did one.
Yes!
Never had a chance.
Woo!
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, you got a lot to play with.
Yo, parry, dodge, dodge.
Perfect parry, perfect
clash,
dodge.
beat the clash, get in there.
Deflects.
All mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Clean, 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 clean. That's fun, that's fun, that's fun. Are those pickables? Yes, they are. And yeah, good to know. No.
Oh.
Eats everything. If you're too close when he feeds, he'll eat you too. I'm here to eat humans. just fuel for the gauntlets.
No, okay, didn't work with that button.
Or nothing.
Lesser soul crystal. Bring us the bigger monsters.
Yeah. The ones that let me do all the systems.
Oh,
Damn.
they got good ears. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, double.
I'm sure you can keep it going.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Gemma did this too.
Damn it!
Aha. No.
You're now bastard.
Well, that was pretty big.
Yeah, okay, that's like a 10-minute like that's 2 jumps. That's a whole level worth of jump.
You got the bus schedule?
Man.
Damn monsters.
Countering grabs.
Ooh, okay. Cannot be blocked or parried. However, you can perform a grab reversal by pressing X right before a grab lands. The enemy will glow blue before they attempt to grab, so watch careful.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Hit him with that Ken throw.
Yo, broken?
And done.
No challenge.
Good that it hurts them too.
The classic Ken back throw.
Yeah. They know that's good. Always a strong throw.
Make the screen shake and everything. Now I'm sus of all these big doors.
Yeah, who's gonna kick it in your
Right.
face as you open it?
Before we walk through.
Oh.
Purple, I think. Oh. What's the torch? Do they have to be human height and broad shoulder proportions in a silhouette so that from your peripheral?
Which way's the stage?
Way is the stage?
I'll choose as a map.
Okay,
To your left.
to my left.
This direction. Thank you.
All right, hit one of these. Yeah, we're good. And I got a little bit of that R1 juice built up.
Another one. What's he gonna show me this time?
More malice. Hello, Gauntlet Lady? I told you not to call me that.
Mm-hmm.
Ow. That was vicious.
Oh, that wasn't a body.
It is now.
That's a lot of malice. Kojiro!
What? Huh?
You too,
Yeah.
This thing's made me so damn strong.
Established.
I've been bored halfway back to death. But look, you got yourself one too.
What blessed luck.
The original Virgil.
Right where we left off. Death can't stop us.
I wish it would stop you at least.
Let's go. Let's go, baby.
The slow walk!
So slow.
Oh, is this fast enough for you?
You thought that cut through? Too bad.
Who the hell wears a metal hat?
That is true. Metallic hat.
Oh!
Back into it. Rope.
The dodges?
Yes, this is what I wanted, what I needed. This dance with
Drop kick.
I love it.
Let's go, let's go!
Break Isen and bosses. Use L to select the target area, then press triangle or circle. You can target specific areas when hitting a boss with a Break Isen. Parts are marked with symbols whose colors indicate
Excuse me.
their effects. Red indicates extra damage, while purple means plenty of souls.
Oh, pick where? Let's see that again.
Yeah. Oh,
Choose which one.
that's
Red-
cool.
Okay, red for damage or for souls. Purple for souls. Wow, okay. Go for the hat.
Yeah, you took
The
that
mental
off.
damage.
Yes. You wanted to dance with death?
That's down.
He loves it.
Oh,
Oh,
really? Oh, no more, please. Oh, God.
Ah, man.
Oh, what a tease. What a
you just cap up with a feather. Just tickling you.
Really? After that? Oh,
That was so sick.
That was
Oh. Oh, you. Yeah.
cool. Okay, I like that. I like that, though.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sasaki Ganryu Kojiro! Immediately we got ourselves a rival. He's loving it.
Yeah,
He's talking
having
trash.
fun.
Woohoo!
Oh, I'm so silly.
Oh,
That
yes.
was good.
Yes. There you go.
Well, thank you for playing. The game releases on Friday, September 25th, 2026.
Man.
I want it now. I want it now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I want like Sasaki fight 1, you know,
Yeah.
he's just getting the hang of things. Fight 2, he's got some new tools on his side, and
Oh.
then you take it to the 3rd one. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was some good steel swinging.
Indeed. And the fact that there's that many mechanics all overlapping at the same time, and in the fight I use them.
Yeah.
Like, okay, dodge counter. Okay, parry
Parry
swing,
counter,
parry
yeah.
counter, right? And then like you get to pick and choose, and the combo continues as you want it
And the
to.
forward also with the counters.
Feels quite nice. Okay. Give me a quick second. I will be right back. All right. Yeah, so there you have it, folks. That is Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Truly a demo. Absolutely.
Very much a demo.
Got introduced it and like gave you a flavor, got a little taste of it, and they're like, all right,
How'd you like that?
you know you want more, you know
Uh-huh.
what to do. So yeah, you can pre-order now, and again, available September 25th on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Steam, and Epic Games as well. I super love how many ways you have the sword play in this.
Right away, huh?
Right away, that felt great. Hell yeah. So looking forward to it. Thanks, Capcom. All right, hit the stop button over there. It has been yeah, I mean it's been a minute since I've gotten like right teased.
That was proper tease, right?
Right on the money. Just like that. Yeah. Because you know me, I'm running back that rival battle as many times as needed. Interesting too, because like, you know, Kojiro Sasaki Ganryu over there, the rival, like that's a character where, you know, by some interpretations, he's mute and deaf.
Oh, okay.
And is like in his own world and gets to be that good with the sword just because everything else is shut out. So he's just at one with this thing he's holding.
Yes,
It's an extension
it's
of
extension
him
of
because
him.
this is his whole world, you know? But if you're gonna make him talk shit, that's a pretty fun way to do it. It's a pretty fun way to do it. So fun interpretation. All right.
Thank you for being here, folks.
Yeah. So we're going to just take the opportunity to check out some other stuff that I wanted to look at. So yeah, I guess there's another thing that was that came out some time ago. I didn't get to watch it yet, but there's a video. So Keats let me know that he just made a video on game balance. That,
Okay.
you know, we might find interesting, and that's as we go back and forth in these topics, not just in fighting games context, but in game design in general context. I am curious to check that out. Yeah, he let me know that was up, and it seems like he's got a new channel going.
Oh, good.
So I want to take a look at that, and then
Yeah, show me what that is. I'll follow it like right now.
And then you mentioned that yeah, so State of Play was yesterday, and there were some cool announcements. Some
Yes, I heard
some stuff
there
you
was
haven't caught up on.
I heard there was some Tokon video that came
Couple
out.
different things. Yeah. All right, let's take a look.
We could look at that.
Let's take a look. Well, first things first, how's it going over here? Let's check the messages. KYH9. So without spoiling anything, new Onimusha falls in line with the rest of Capcom's recent amazing VA animation, mocap, dialogue, and technical artistry, and some other stuff. All right, thank you for the message, KYH. That being said, the new Miyamoto Musashi is channeling peak action comedy, bit of Jackie Chan, bit of Bruce Willis. It's really working for me. It oozes some of the 90s blockbuster charisma.
That's cool.
Thank you for the support. Yeah, I'm a Musashi stan. So, all right, Baltic Guy 1, how you doing? Hey, Reg, now that the season is over, thoughts on the Habs and the playoffs? Dobes is goated, but holy shit, the team needs to put more shots on goal. Dobes? Dobbs?
Jacob Dobesh.
Dobesh.
Yeah. How much time do we have? I mean, look, like I said, we weren't supposed to be this successful. They got top 4. They got grinded down by two teams who, like Tampa and Buffalo, were playing very rough. a bit almost dirty, trying to hurt people, and going through 2 game 7s is going to have a toll on you. Third series was against Carolina, and Carolina is like one of the best teams in the league, and they were showing it. I'm sad that they lost their first game against Vegas in playoffs, because I really don't want Vegas to win. So, like, fuck them. But yeah, all in all, excellent year, and the future is bright. We have like a ton of like rookies and prospects, like Fowler and Zadovsky and Michael Haig as well. So yeah, all in all, I'm very happy with the year.
Dobesh sounds like a Russian name.
He's
or Eastern European.
Yeah, Eastern Europe. I think he's Czech. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll keep it short like that.
Okay.
I'm very happy with the year. Excellent season, very fun, exciting. The kids have learned, they are growing, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Go Habs, go!
All right, MDK, how you doing? Are you ready for fuck you? It's September this year. Yeah, basically like, So, okay, well, there's a joke with Red Letter Media, who do the Star Wars guys who did the. Okay, we're gonna pull this back. You know what? We have time. All right. So just the speed of internet and memes. All right, Reggie.
Okay.
Here we go. The guys who did the Mr. Plinkett Star Wars reviews.
Yes.
You've heard of those.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so they're called Red Letter Media.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have funny videos besides that review. One of the funny videos had them going, "Fuck you, it's January," right? As a thing. Too much stuff was coming out.
Okay.
And yesterday at the State of Play, 1 billion games were all announced in September.
Okay.
Because everything is trying to get away from November, because in November, Grand Theft Auto comes out. So everyone is car crashed and piled up the month before Grand Theft Auto.
Right, because they don't want to fight Grand Theft Auto, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Until they announce that it's delayed.
Exactly. And so as a result, you just have this insane list, which if I had it nearby.
So I just posted it.
You have it right there?
I have the list right
there
now.
You
if
go.
You want. It's kind of crazy. September 3rd, The Blood of the Dawnwalker. On the 8th, Halloween the Game. On the 9th, Phantom Blade Zero. On the 15th, Wolverine. Oh yeah, Wolverine. 17th, Trails in the Sky, 2nd chapter. 22nd, Dune Awakening. 24th, Control Resonant. 24th, also Silent Hill Townfall. On the 25th, Onimusha, Way of the Sword. October 1st, Rayman Legend Retold. October 1st, Dynasty Warrior 3 Remasters. And then October 2nd, Ace Combat 8 Wings of Theme. That's a crazy month.
Fuck you, it's September.
Buy them all?
So yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
How's your FOMO?
The bit was that it's after the holidays, so there were no movies. Right. Okay. But anyway, so there you go. That's what that means. Fuck you, it's September.
Okay, got it.
All right.
Yeah. Start saving.
This is what happens. Like this has been happening more and more. There's these insane months of concentration, but like particularly when a Grand Theft Auto game is imminent, or a Call of Duty game is imminent, or a Battlefield game is imminent.
Yeah.
You watch as the industry clears a path. Nobody wants to be there, and you can challenge it and die, and then regret it.
Yeah.
And the stupid part is like there's a logic to saying, well, hold on, if I'm releasing something that doesn't overlap at all, that it doesn't hit the same price point, and I have a completely different audience that would not be spending that money anyways, then maybe this is not such a big deal. However, that's not how history will take it. You'll always be remembered as like, oh, that game didn't work out because it released on the same day as
some other monster.
Right.
Okay.
So
there. Back to school in September, usually.
You always have that game of what if. What if you didn't release or like Horizon Zero Dawn at the same time? What if you didn't release you know, Titanfall at the same time, or every time there's a question of a game that like, oh, this could have been more successful, but meh. Nobi Phoenix, how you doing? What are both of your Power Ranger suit colors? Green with violet accent or violet with green accent? Also, what are Reggie's canon theme colors for his character art? Is it just red and white?
I do like red. I don't know what would be the secondary color on it. Black and red goes hard. So I'm tempted to go like style-wise, black and red, you know. I also like yellow as a color, but I don't know if I would mix it with the red. You know?
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Either way. I mean, I've been pushing, you've been seeing me push purple a lot more these days.
Yeah.
Back in the old channel days, it was just Woolie equals green.
And
it is my favorite color, but almost, you know, in a way, like I wanted to, I'm like, I also like purple, so I also wanted to like use that more often with things, and then the combination of the two is super sick. So yeah, either or is fine, really. Yes, yeah, green was old Woolie, kind of more or less, and purple is more in limbo. What is up, Sirius Bichon? Thank you for the bits. Hey, Wolves and Reg, another fun indie for you. Everything is crab. You can fight a boxing kangaroo wearing Kamina shades. That's cool. Yeah, I think Pat was playing that, right? I did see a notification on my my stuff for something called Everything is Crab.
There is a theory that says that everything will become crab at
Everything.
the end of the evolutionary tree.
I thought it was lobster.
Oh, lobster. Oh, I thought it was crab. Like a
Isn't
crucifixion or something? Like, I forget the exact term.
I have heard about lobsters, but I don't know about the crab thing.
Carcinization?
Okay.
Conversion evolution in which non-crab crustaceans evolve a crab-like body plan.
Well, what's the genesis of this idea?
Everything becomes crab.
Says who, when, why?
Memes.
Oh. I thought there was some sort of process. Carcinogenesis. Okay, but like, is there a real thing that, like, is that a thing that occurs sometimes that this is based on, or are we just tossing the ball around? Okay.
A bit of column A, a bit of column B.
Who knows is a valid answer. Let me just pull that crab thing. Everything is crab. Let me just throw that on the list. Let's take a look and see what's going on over here. All right, they're done. All right. While that's happening, Iridium, what's going on? Wasn't there a and I think the lobster thing was based on the fact that they're immortal.
Oh.
Or something to that effect.
Until you eat them?
Yeah. Until something like running out of energy, getting too tired is how a lobster dies. They don't die of old age.
Okay.
Their cells don't go through the process by which they can no longer create new ones. They don't wear out. They just get too tired. They grow too big to molt out of their shell, and they just kind of die halfway through a molting.
Oh wow, okay.
You know, there's a couple of different ways that they die, but old age is not the cause of death.
Okay.
Which is really interesting.
That's very interesting.
And that's why like they're worth studying, because
they're trying to make a human lobster man that's gonna live forever.
Hypothetically,
cool.
If nothing endangers this, it could live forever.
Allow it, but only if the human has to walk like like this all the time.
But like that's it. Like they can get crushed by their own exoskeleton. Exactly. That's not a fun way to go. That's cool. Horrible.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're the rest of you has to be able to keep up with everything is energy. It needs to replenish that energy. It has to go somewhere. So, yeah. Iridium, how you doing? Was there a story early in the year talking about how GTA 6 was likely going to be delayed again because they fired a bunch of senior devs for using the word union in a group chat. Yeah, there was a story like that. And we don't know. I mean, it's GTA, so they can do whatever they want. But it sounds like, you know, the whole 9 pregnant woman can make a baby in 1 month philosophy is in effect. But they're doing the infinite budget equals infinite quality, therefore this game must be perfect. And we talked about all the standards that it has to hit, right? I think I brought that up at least a couple weeks ago. Like, by the math, by the costs, and when all calculations are done, like, in order to break even, Grand Theft Auto has to be like I think it has to be like the 5th best selling game of all time. And
make like over $1 billion.
It has to be, and like 1 in 3 PlayStation owners must own it, and like a couple of other really just insane metrics where it's just like, this will not, yeah, in order to make the money back, it needs to hit insane levels of success, which it absolutely can because of what it is. But just the fact that that's a mandatory thing is really, really crazy, you know.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
And
I mean, it's gonna be a
there's
crazy amount on release too.
yeah,
You know?
and I mean, and like it really does, like, it brings out like every non-game playing person that's you know, that remembers the old days to come back and play them. But have you played any Grand Theft Auto games? I have only played GTA 3. I played GTA 1, I played a bit of 2, and I played GTA 3, and I haven't played any of the... So,
I
like,
know people who've played it. I haven't played it myself.
and it's like, and ultimately, of course, we're in the extreme minorities because these are massive industry trending. Everything is about CJ, and everything is about Vice City, and you know, all the everything. But just the mere fact that we exist as human beings that like video games that have not spent money on the franchise, in this context, that's a danger to them because of how much they need to sell.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that I might not buy Grand Theft Auto right away if I ever get around to it is kind of an issue because they need people like me to also be on board this time.
Yeah.
So,
And you're not gonna join a private server to roleplay on GTA.
no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't really need that in my life. That's not a hole I need to fill. All right. Scott Nate, how you doing? Forgot that I had to pause the sub because midway through the jobs, but I am back, baby. How you doing? Not much to talk about other than I've been obsessed with Bethesda modding scene again, and they made a mod that makes you able to play everything from Fallout 1 to Skyrim within Fallout 4's Pip-Boy and computer terminals in-game. That's crazy. That's cool. It's
Whole
like,
games inside the other game?
I mean, you've surely heard of Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
Where they make games inside of games and calculators inside of games. And then Minecraft.
Minecraft goes hard, yeah.
There is a working Game Boy with Pokemon on it inside of Minecraft.
Okay, yeah. People will do anything.
So, you know. Okie doke. So, from the looks of it over here, we're going to take a look. And yeah, I did see the messages as well. Some of the shout outs to the mod team. Folks have been getting their alerts for how long they've been around, and super kudos and super thanks to all y'all. And you saw the
yes.
for some that message was a little shall we say inaccurate, you know. Solidus's message was reset, I believe, to 2 years, simply because of that time he was demodded for having the wrong opinion for 5 minutes. And that's, you know, that sucks, but you know what? That's what you fucking get. So sorry,
Solidus,
not sorry.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Solidus?
That's what you get. That's what happens. You fa, then you fo. Right? If you didn't fo, then you wouldn't have fa. So this is what it is. You see, that it direct correlate. The more you fuck around,
Yeah, there's a line, though.
the more you're gonna find out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Find out about everything.
that's a really funny thing. Everybody's getting their Dash is getting it, and Scott and everyone's getting their messages for all the time, and it's just like, yeah, I fucking kicked you out the room for 5 minutes, and your combo is broken.
Combo is broken.
Your streak has ended.
Who are you?
I don't know you. Who the fuck is that? You looking kind of unfamiliar right now. Game recognized game, Grandpa. Anyways, okay, so from the looks of it over here, Keats, shout outs to friend of the channel, Keats, the KI game balance and design, that boy, you know, who's been doing it since I remember when I walked in and I saw dive kick on an Evo table.
Oh,
and I was like,
what is this?
The fuck is this? What the fuck is going on there? 2 buttons? What is happening? Fast forward to the Baz is in the game, you know, and and Rumbleverse and everything. Always some good times, always good chats. Whenever I get a chance to hang out with Keats, whenever I'm over in Chi-Town, which is not often enough. But from what I understand, there is a new channel that he's made called Game Design Direct, which it appears to be about getting various creators to talk about game design.
That's a good idea.
Sounds good. And the first one that just dropped is, you know, coming in hot. Game balance isn't real.
Interesting topic.
And you know what? I have a guess as to where that's going, right? The Kung Fu Man versus Kung Fu Man perfect balance game is the game that nobody wants to play.
Who wants that?
It's completely boring and unexciting, so that's not a thing, right? So let's see what Keats has to say. We're gonna lock in for a bit here, but I remember the last time we had a good chat about, like, you know, just the audiences of the fighting game community and like who it appeals to, how it appeals to different people. There's a lot of great collections of metric data that have been put together, and I talked about it on the podcast too, even some time afterwards, and pointed people in the direction of some of that stuff. But there's a lot of good metrics out there that people may or may not know about. But if you're interested in game design and interested in this concept, there's a lot to say.
All right. I didn't listen to Sakurai, but I listened to this guy.
What is game balance? If you're into competitive games, I'm sure you have a pretty decent answer. But can you answer me this question? How do we know when a game is finally balanced? Let me take you back to the early 2010s. League of Legends is one of the most popular competitive games of all time, and on February 16th, 2011, the developers released a patch containing the following change for Vladimir's Sanguine Pool. Removed. On-cast bonus, movement speed. The player sentiment after playing the update was rough. Users rushed online to express how bad this change felt. Vladimir's play rate plummeted, and his win rate also decreased. But here's the twist. The developer had forgotten to submit the files for that particular change, and so it never actually went out to players.
Oh! Blown up!
Okay,
blown up!
Dramatic, but give me a chance before you rush the comments to light me up. Let's define some terms. Game tuning is the act of adjusting a game to achieve a goal. Tuning is the action that developers take. Game tuning is real. Game balance, however, is not an act. It isn't something.
Placebo game balance?
That's so
Generally, developers and players alike want to achieve the goal of game balance. When players give feedback to developers, they often do so with game balance in mind. Developers tune the game to try to achieve balance. Again, tuning is the act, balance is the goal. So while tuning is easily defined, we need to ask, what does game balance as a goal even mean if, as we just learned, simply telling players that something in the game has changed when it has not can so deeply affect their perception of the game's balance? Game balance isn't real. That's right. Game balance is mostly just vibes.
It's something you strive towards, but you never actually land there.
Tuning a competitive game, or a player interested in playing or discussing these games, let me explain why game balance isn't what you think, and share some of my techniques for tuning competitive games. But first, why should you care about my view on this topic? Let me introduce myself. My name is Adam Hart, but you might know me as Keats in the fighting game community. As early as age 6, my dad and I would compete with each other and create new games together. I started playing fighting games when Street Fighter II hit arcades in 1991.
That's how
I
it
got
started.
The competitive itch around 1997. The lack of nearby tournaments led me to running my own local events, which got me hooked enough to start traveling the country to attend regional and major tournaments, which led me to evolving my own events into the Regional Major Series Ultimate Fighting Game Tournament,
Trying to make out those pixels,
which popular fighting game commentator Ultra David has called one of the most influential tournament series in FGC history. Thanks, bud. During my travels, I scored an EVO Top 8 medal in 2011 by getting 7th place in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Ultimate All-Stars. I was the editor-in-chief of Top Fighting Game website Shoryuken.com for many years, writing about news, events, and co-hosting their weekly podcast, Wake Up SRK. I got into game development when I created Dive Kick with my wife and friends, and then I joined Iron Galaxy Studios to release a commercial version. I also helped Iron Galaxy Studios with Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online, Marvel vs. Capcom Origins, and Darkstalkers Resurrection. I then served as lead combat designer on Killer Instinct, the 2013 version, Season 2, and for the rest of the game's development cycle. And then as lead designer on Rumbleverse. On Dive Kick, Killer Instinct, and Rumbleverse, in addition to my many other duties, I was in charge of game tuning, and I interacted heavily with each game's community. In other words, trying to achieve competitive game balance has been a major focus of my career as a game developer since 2012. During this professional experience, I came to view game balance very differently than I did at the start, and very differently than most of our industry. The proof of this view is in the pudding. Endgame Killer Instinct is still considered by many to be one of the greatest fighting games of all time, with major tournaments still ongoing. A lot of players feel its balance is among the best in the entire genre. But before I jump into the meat of this talk, I want to share a quick word about the examples I'm going to use in this video. I lived through nearly all of the events I'm going to reference, but the ones I was less close to required me to do some research. I did my absolute best to represent the facts and feelings of the time, and I want to make it clear that if I use an example in a negative way, that I'm not disparaging the people who made those games, made those design choices, or players who love those games.
No, but we will.
I want to acknowledge that all of us developers are trying to do the best we can at a very difficult task.
Even like how the economics factors in. I'm seeing,
and I'll probably make more
seeing Leroy and going like, oh yeah, when you have to sell DLC.
Its examples isn't to point fingers or say I'm
Yun
the
and
best
Yang edition,
like
etc.
It's to use our history to observe lessons to help you understand my perspective on game balance. Cool? All right, let's begin.
Better balance being antithetical to
You're at the GameStop,
less
reading
money.
the back of the box for the latest
More money,
competitive game, and the bullet points say 16 playable characters, 12 fighting stages. The gameplay is very fair. I bet you couldn't wait to get home and play the game so you could experience the fairness firsthand. Let's be real. Fairness is not a selling point, and
we
people
want
don't
that cheap
generally
thing.
buy games because they're fair. Why do people buy games or download them?
Literally,
In the
people
case
in our
of games that don't
community.
require a
Shout out
purchase,
Renee.
Well, the game looks fun.
Who's the cheapest
You can do a bunch of
character?
cool stuff in it.
What's the cheapest tech?
Explosions, style,
all
mastery.
right, cool.
Every person's
I got a
definition
main.
of fun is unique, and the type of fun they seek is their primary motivator when deciding what to play. People also buy games because of FOMO. Their friends
true.
or their community are playing and they don't want to be left behind.
See you in
Gamers will
September.
often play a game we don't love just to keep up with our friends. Even outside social pressure, such as everyone's playing it, can trigger the desire to not be left behind. Back before post-launch live service update cycles were the norm, the point of a sale was all that mattered. As a developer, if I could get you to buy your Super Nintendo copy of Street Fighter II, my relationship with you ended right then and there. Wouldn't have mattered to me how long you played the game, or what you thought of the game balance, or the fairness, or any of that. Even if the game was deeply unfair, you'd likely only be playing it against your local friends, and none of you were good enough at the game for that to even really matter. So, as a dev, I just hope that I did a good enough job to make you want to buy the next version of the game in a year or two.
Oh,
Now,
Sagat,
game
fair and
development
balanced.
marketing costs have skyrocketed. Development timelines are only getting longer, and the way consumers interact with competitive games has completely
where that
changed.
Harada guy
After
is
your
now.
initial purchase or download, it's important for developers to keep players playing.
Saudi
fair play.
Arabia.
Fill the online matchmaking queues. So now it's become just as important to keep players from quitting as it is to get them to buy or download the game in the first place. Especially if the game is free to play. If you want to stop players
so
from quitting,
good at
you need
silly.
to fully understand why
Kenny
they
Omega
quit.
rules.
Players quit because sometimes it's not about the game itself.
Yep.
And there isn't anything you can do.
Especially
Maybe a new game
today.
came out and pulled their attention away. Perhaps real life happened, and that drastically
That's
lowered
true.
the player's free time. But there are reasons that players quit that you can at least
Or
somewhat control.
I buy
If a game
games
becomes
to play
more
them for 2
frustrating
months
than
and then
fun,
stop.
players will quit.
There's a lot of
if
people.
a game becomes more thoughtless than engaging, players will quit. So, to summarize, games no longer are sold in a box and left as is. Competitive games need to last for years just to justify the rising cost of development. Developers are expected to keep players engaged in playing. That means frustration is a real problem that must be dealt with, boredom is a real problem that must be dealt with, and so developers decide on goals, and then they tinker with their games, and this gets called, rather interchangeably, game tuning, or game patching, or game balancing. But each of these terms has their own definitions, and we should not use them interchangeably. Let's reiterate the terms as I've defined them. Game tuning is the act of making adjustments in your game in an effort to achieve a goal. Game patching is the act of deploying updates to the game. And game balance is merely one possible goal of game tuning. But what is a balanced game, really? How do we know when a game is finally balanced? Is it when every weapon or character is used equally or wins equally? Is it
50-50
when players have
win
nothing left
ratios?
to complain about online? Are these
5-5
things even
matchups?
possible? When we tune a game, we're looking to reach some specific measurable outcome. So a problem we're about to run into is that game balance doesn't have just one definition that everyone agrees on.
Very smart.
Each part of the audience for your game is looking for something different based on their own ideas of what successful game balance looks like to them. Most players' primary driver for wanting game balance is the idea of fairness. They think they want a game in which all options are equally viable, and they can rank up or win a tournament with any character or weapon or team comp that they choose. They want a game where the tools they use are objectively powerful, but are perceived as fair by others, and that those tools are rarely used against them. If the game doesn't feel fair to an individual, that individual gets frustrated. Viewers matter a lot to any modern competitive games ecosystem.
Yes.
And the viewer's primary driver for wanting game balance is variety. They want to tune into live streams and see like a lot of different characters and team compositions and weapons represented to keep things interesting. They want to see lots of play styles interacting with each other, especially when viewing tournaments.
There's always
It's a lot
something
less
that's
fun
going
when
to...
top
Yeah,
character
there you
selections
go.
look like this.
Sam Show.
If the choices being
Can
made
I
on screen
throw
are
that
too
on the
repetitive,
list?
Genjuro,
viewers
Genjuro,
get
Genjuro.
frustrated. And this third one, yeah, we'll talk about this one later.
Oh.
So how do developers figure out how to tune the game to make it more fair and give it more variety? One common strategy is to survey or talk to players to see what it is they want changed.
God, that's the worst
Another
thing you
common
could
strategy
do.
is to use telemetry to look deeply at data that represents
Patch the
real
game every
in-game
2 weeks
outcomes,
according
such
to the
as
forums.
use rates or win rates to try and make it so that things make sense mathematically. And yet, despite trying all of these things, competitive games so often struggle to achieve
The
good
Event
game
Hub's
balance.
tier list rankings
Why is
say,
that?
Oh boy.
Let's break down each of the traditional methods for making tuning decisions and see where they tend to go wrong. Let's start with telemetry. Data lies. On the first day of my high school statistics class, our teacher shared with us a quote from early 20th century Austrian psychiatrist Wilhelm Steckel. Statistics is the art of lying by means of figures. That quote really stuck with me. As it turns out, if you're clever, you can use data to prove almost any point you want. Or worse, data can convince you of a false truth. Data can be very useful in convincing your development teammates of a design direction, but it's much less useful for finding the right tuning decision to make for your audience. Checking telemetry from League of Legends, you might find that the item Mejai's Soul Stealer has an absurdly high win rate, often close to 80%, but this statistic is highly misleading. The item is rarely purchased unless you're already winning, which means the player purchasing it was already very likely to win before making the purchase.
right.
The developers understood why the win rate for this item was the
a
way
lot
it
of
was, and that kept them from
classes
making the mistake
start
of
with
trusting the
something
numbers alone and making a poor tuning decision. This
like
means
that
that
quote.
in order to find guidance within the numbers, you need an extraordinary amount of context. Let's say that you look at your character pick rates, and one of the characters is very underrepresented. Do we have any idea why just from the numbers alone? Is it because the character's too weak?
Or whack.
Or are they difficult to use? Or do they lose matchups to some of the most common characters? Or are they just kind of ugly? Without the reason
all the
why,
characters.
this data is effectively useless.
show
when it
all
comes
the
to understanding
characters.
what
We spent a
changes to
lot of
make
time
in your
talking
game.
about
Early on in
WoolieVersus
Overwatch's lifespan,
gameplay
developers
and
saw the use rate
art
of the
style and
support
stuff.
hero
That was a
Symmetra
big
low.
conversation.
So on December 13th, 2016, they overhauled the character, changing the way her moveset worked. Developer design notes said they wanted to make Symmetra feel more active and give her more meaningful contributions to the team. Overall, Symmetra players
full
liked the
rework.
changes, but the use rate barely went up. The players were somewhat happy, but the goal of normalizing the use rate was not achieved. She still wasn't very popular. On June 26th, 2018, a year and a half later, Symmetra was reworked a second time.
Oh, no.
This time moving her from a support role into a damage role. Many Symmetra players lost their fun in this overhaul, and some physically disabled players could no longer play the character at all. The use rate dropped below the original version while simultaneously making the player base upset. Without understanding why
they didn't know what to do with her.
Tuning the character, or worse, reworking them entirely, is like throwing darts while blindfolded after being punched in the face. Was the pick rate low because Symmetra was weak? Or was it because her toolkit didn't fit in well with the dominant strategies running the game?
Whack?
Or was it because she was only fun to a certain type of player? And if I may ask, is it even a problem that her pick rate was low, or that the game has niche characters that aren't tournament viable? Well, is it? Without context, data is often
during dive
worse
comp
than
as well.
useless. It can make you think a problem exists where there isn't one, and it might lead you to making decisions that remove the fun of some of your players. Data without context is dangerous. We should also consider that data is almost never qualitative, and it's easily skewed. Developers that use telemetry to observe the win rates of various characters and weapons will find obvious and large differences when they start to sort that data by player rank. But can we really trust a qualifier like player rank to sort and understand this data? Ranking systems are only good at sorting people who use them a lot. Consider that there are tournament level players who do not play ranked mode often at all, and when they do, they may be much lower ranked than their actual skill level due to their lack of ranked playtime. You must also realize that not everyone in the top ranking bracket is of equal skill, and so this can affect a character's win rate rather drastically even within that segment of players. And within that segment, you may find that certain strategies or characters are barely used at all. Think about what else goes into the win rate. Is this a 1v1 game or a team game? Is the character difficult or easy to use? How do we interpret the stats of a character who thrives in online matchmaking, but struggles to place well in full tournament brackets? How close are the game's best character specialists to reaching each character's known potential? And what don't we know about a character's potential? Even if we could perfectly understand the quality of our win rate data, we simply can't
What's going
learn
on with
enough from
Yoshi?
it to identify if we
Do you
even have
know?
a problem to address.
Well, I don't know what he's referring to, but I know in Melee,
maybe we can spot a lopsided matchup
he
with data from
climbed
time
up,
to time,
but
which can
after
be
a
really
long
helpful in knowing
time,
where to look, but it isn't at all helpful in
people got
figuring
better
out what to
with him.
change. Remember, data will lie to you. Using Street Fighter VI's publicly available telemetry, we can see such a case in action. Dhalsim, Lily, Honda, Rashid, Blanca, and Kimberly are the bottom 6 characters in terms of use rates and
That
rank,
question of like,
both
what do the
across all
testers
ranks
know?
overall,
What
and
does
when isolating
Capcom
the
know
master rank
that
players. And
top
yet,
players don't?
the characters with the highest win rates in master rank are, in order, Honda, Kimberly, Dhalsim, JP,
The answer
Blanca,
was
Rashid.
not a whole
So
lot.
this is
but-
almost the exact inverse. And player conceptions of these characters placed in the tier lists bear no relation to any of this data. Most players think Blanca and Rashid are high tier, Honda and Lily are low tier, and ideas about Dhalsim and Kimberly's strength vary wildly. This data could easily lead you to believe that these 6 characters are weak due to underuse, or make you think that they're too strong because of their high win rates. Data without context is dangerous, yes,
Absolutely.
but even trying to apply proper context to your data is almost impossibly difficult. So if we can't really trust data to guide us, we should probably talk to the players in our community, right? After all, they play the most, they're often extremely skilled, and they know the game pretty damn well.
They're so biased.
Well, unfortunately,
They're
even though
so
most of them don't
biased.
need
You
to,
cannot
players
Downplay,
frequently
downplay,
If you've been
downplay.
in or around game dev long enough, you've certainly heard the phrase, players don't know what they want. This isn't entirely true in my experience. There's a relatively well-known clip of me from the wonderful Fight On Killer Instinct documentary by Hold Back to Block,
Oh yes.
in which I
Shout
tell
out
an
to
anecdote
Esteban.
about
The
a
best
time
Esteban.
when the KI community rallied together and really wanted us to nerf Jago. Specifically, his ability to heal himself by landing fireballs during his instinct mode made them feel like they had to kill him 3 times instead of 2. But nerfing his healing, as they'd requested, would have cut away at the character's core identity and a large part of what makes him unique and fun to play. The community was laser focused on seeing the healing as the problem, and their view of the game was that Jago was either too strong or too frustrating to play against, depending on who you asked. Whether this was the true state of the game or not is not relevant. They believed Jago was a problem, and their perception, no matter how flawed, is the reality they live in. To tune games properly, you must accept this. A player's perception is their reality. So instead of succumbing to the community pressure campaign and nerfing Jago's healing, we took a different approach that allowed us to maintain his fun and unique healing gimmick, while weakening some of the more brainless parts of his kit that allowed him to negate his intended weaknesses too easily. The community cooked us pretty hard for a few weeks, insisting that this wasn't the change they asked for and wouldn't make a difference. But a few weeks after that, complaining about Jago had all but
That's
stopped.
wild.
Players knew they wanted a weaker Jago. It's just that their idea of how to do it would have had way worse knockdown effects on the game and Jago player base than what we landed on. And of course, a very small number of Jago players were unable to adapt to the changes that we did end up going with, and they either switched characters or quit the game entirely. That sucks. But it's a natural part of the tuning process. You can't please everyone, but you can limit the negative blowback of a nerf if you're thoughtful. Was Jago too strong on paper? Did he even need to be nerfed in the first place? Believe it or not, it doesn't actually matter. Ultimately, players were frustrated, and something had to be done about that. The something we chose weakened Jago, which is what the players wanted, but the way we did it strayed pretty far from most of the common
How
complaints.
it feels is what matters
So,
more.
in a way, players do occasionally know what they want. It's just that they don't usually know the least destructive way to get there. Most of your user base will lie to you, but I'll state again, they usually don't mean to. They're generally well-intentioned and they just want the game to get better. But better for who? Even among the most well-meaning users, you'll find that the overwhelming majority of them struggle to
So
see
many
the big
players will
picture or
suggest an
consider the
idea
viewpoints
and
of
don't
others.
think of the
Their idea of a better
ramifications
game-
of what that changes, you know? They'll be like, oh, this does too much, too little damage. You should give him this buff. Okay, but this buff will break these other systems in the character. You didn't think about that? Like, well, let the devs try to do their job and accept what's coming, you know?
Yeah, no, I think that yeah, I didn't want to get too much into the pause and go because like
Yeah,
'cause,
sorry.
No, I'm willing to for a little bit, but no, that is always it. It's like the perfectly balanced game that is unfun is not the product that you want to strive for. The people want a feeling, so it makes sense to be like, okay, how do you keep that feeling, even though it might not actually, if you can trick the players into enjoying themselves, you know, then that's fine ultimately in the end, because the game needs to be fun and that's what your goal is. So focusing on that, it makes sense 100%.
Game is very commonly one in which they, with their character or weapon of choice, can win more easily. Things that beat their playstyle get weakened, and their playstyle gets stronger, and no one complains about their playstyle.
I will also say too, what comes to mind for me a lot of the time whenever I'm feeling frustrated by something, I will always just be like, okay, even if it however annoying the thing is, like give me explain to me the intended counterplay.
Okay, yeah.
Right? If you give me the intended counterplay, I feel like I'm like, okay, I can live in a world where that knowledge exists.
Depending on how good the counterplay
Depending on
is.
how good it is, right? For me, I feel like JP counterplay feels too dice rolly even when you're doing it correctly. But maybe I'm still missing pieces of that puzzle, right?
That character feels bad to play against.
And you know that it's like, yeah, react to this, wait for this sound cue, look for that setup, and that's an opening. But it's just, it doesn't feel as consistent when it comes down to it because of anyway, whatever, we're getting into a whole bunch of things, but the feeling of the counterplay there is not as satisfying. But if there's something where if you communicate what that is, / if it's an information that you can pick up, then knowing that something has counterplay to it, that isn't just like, you know, amnesia, stop playing the game, right? Like that, I can accept it better knowing that like you did put a weakness here, and it was not just a complete like, nah, this does everything and then some. Yun EX lunge punch.
He needs to get in, bro.
Instantaneous, unreactable, juggleable, combos into ultra, also safe.
He needs a way to get in. What do you want?
You know, did I say safe? Plus.
Yeah, it could be plus.
Like, yeah, anyway.
So they can feel good about using it. I used to think this way myself, so I'm not trying to cut you down if you currently think this way. It goes without saying that this isn't a good way to make a more fair or less frustrating game, so you need to take every piece of feedback that you get with a massive grain of salt and try to apply as much context to it as possible. Developers can be easily misled by data, sure, but they can even more easily be misled by players. Data can be convincing, but players can be very, very loud and hard to ignore.
Yeah,
It is, of course,
when they put
not
out a video,
possible to
though,
know
we're
what you
watching.
don't currently know.
We're like, look at this thing.
But that won't
Oh
stop players
shit,
from insisting
that's
that
dumb.
their perspective- After all, to them, it certainly is. But their perspective can shift quickly. Players are very easily influenced and misled. Influencer types can, often without even meaning to, construct completely false narratives that large swaths of your user base will bandwagon on and help amplify. Suddenly, the desires or misinformation of just one popular player can start to sound like hundreds or thousands of people who all agree about what the problem is and how to fix it. Groupthink is a major issue that puts a lot of social pressure on devs that can be very difficult to navigate. And it isn't just influential players or malicious players who can influence a crowd. It's often tournament results themselves. Early on, after the launch of Injustice 2 in May of 2017, generational talent Sonic Fox won nearly every tournament they attended using Captain Cold, a character that many at the time thought was on the weaker end of the roster. Sonic Fox's dominant win streak resulted in a community that was forced to reassess the actual strength of the character, and eventually developers that nerfed the character despite Sonic Fox's insistence that Captain Cold was indeed weak and just counterpicked certain characters well. But you don't even have to go on a dominant winning streak to change people's views. After Super Street Fighter 4 launched in April of 2010, right before tournament season really kicked off, many of us looked to our strongest players to assess the power levels of the 10 new characters that were added to the roster. Going into EVO 2010 on July 9th, the widespread sentiment among top players was that Adon was among the weaker characters added to the game. Many of us went into that event writing the character off completely. And then GamerB took 5th place out of about 1,700 players with Adon that weekend in the largest open bracket tournament we had seen to date, totally upending how we had viewed the character for months without a single balance change.
That was a fun era, man.
Characters have to be invented sometimes.
Yeah.
That's it. A character has to be invented and then people go, oh,
in an even more
I
dramatic
didn't know.
Example, let's look at Super Smash Bros. Melee, one of the most popular competitive games of all time, and a game that has not been patched since the 1.02 Player's Choice discs were released in 2003. Melee has a very long and well-documented history of community agreed upon tier lists to rank the strongest and weakest characters. By all conventional wisdom, Yoshi sat as the 21st best character in the game, in a roster of 26. Not good. And then Amsa appeared in the tournament scene and started getting results with Yoshi. Yoshi's rank went from 21st
can do some
to 12th
stupid things.
from 2013 to 2015, and after Amsa's win at Big House 10 in October of 2022, arguably the hardest Melee major of all time, Yoshi now sits as the 10th best character in the game on community tier lists.
One person
Despite
did that.
nothing about the game changing, Yoshi rose 11 spots in the ranks.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
He has good like defensive options, despite the fact that his jump
we
is like
simply
janky.
cannot know
So
what we
not
do
enough,
know.
not enough
Whether
lab
it's Sonic
monsters
Fox thinking their
going
character
in
character is
and
weak,
then digging
or
it
a
out till later.
consensus of top players thinking that a character they don't even main is
People
weak
got better
just
with
before a
shielding on
breakout
platforms
performance,
and shield
or also
dropping.
believing in their character's power despite ridiculous execution requirements and being the only one in the world who can do it. It just goes to show you how easily players and
double jump
developer
cancels and
opinions can be
everything.
swayed by tournament results and influencers. When groupthink and player pressure campaigns arrive at your doorstep, it's incredibly hard, maybe impossible as a developer, to know what situation you're
This
actually
is something
in
I
and
miss
guess
from
right.
the old days.
Is the character weak or
You know,
strong?
A
Without
weak
many years
character
of
and somebody
evidence, you
comes and
have
is
to
like,
make
no,
an
he's not
assumption.
weak.
You'll be
I'm
right
gonna show
sometimes,
you.
Oh
you'll
yeah.
be wrong other times, and it's a
There
huge
are things
part of
too where again feeling matters so much, because I will say this no matter what happens to Echo into XKO, getting hit with a fireball that makes you float and stop and then get a comboed for free just feels bad. And that'll live rent free
The
in
feeling of
everyone's
it.
head forever, no matter how bad the character
The
is outside.
feeling of it is horrible
The
enough
feeling of getting hit
to
with that
drive
fireball.
the feeling of angry gamers
It
everywhere.
doesn't matter how good or not he is. Getting hit with that feels awful and stays with you. And that is what the pitchforks are going to be about till the end of time. But that's his identity.
But he's supposed to do that.
Feeling.
More accurate.
of why tuning a competitive game is so difficult. And of course, when talking about our inability to know what we don't yet know and how that influences the way we think about our passions and the world, I need to remind you, dear viewer, of the Dunning-Kruger effect. We can be
Mount Stupid.
extremely confident that we know everything about the state of a game when we, in fact, are only seeing a small part of the big picture. Even the strongest players in the world who are regularly winning tournaments may only be aware of a tiny fraction of what's possible within a play space. And while balanced discussions and tier list theorizing can be incredibly fun, it is for these reasons that players make misleading and unreliable sources of guidance when deciding how to tune your game. Okay, so
Fires
we can't
don't
rely on data
exist.
or players for guidance. But what about the goals we'd set out to achieve in the first place? let's examine our list of goals and try to understand if we're even attempting to steer in the right direction. Goal number 1, a favorite goal of players, is fairness. Fairness should not and cannot ever be a goal. Why? Because no two players can ever universally agree on what is fair.
Facts.
It's an emotional metric that changes by the minute depending on who you ask, the results of their latest ranked match, what salty player showed up on their social media algorithm that day. It is simply not an achievable goal because game balance is mostly vibes. You cannot measure your success by measuring fairness, as the only way to do so, data or player surveys, are frequently misleading. Remember, as a developer, you also don't know what you don't know. Things you think you know may be false, and you are just as easy to manipulate as the players are. Remember that League of Legends example from the start of the video about Vladimir Sanguine Pool? That wasn't the only time something like that happened in League. When the champion Riven was released, she was viewed by the community as weak. Riot devs apparently agreed and hotfixed in some buffs for the character. Shortly after posting the hotfix notes on the forums, the character's play rate spiked and the feedback was very positive. Players reported how good the buffs felt and what a difference they made. But
Please don't do it again.
This is
the best. This is the best.
The idea of fairness
That's so embarrassing
individual to each player that it can never be an achievable or even measurable goal. Even when groupthink makes it seem like thousands of players have the same view on an issue, their overall feelings of fairness.
You know, they should
Finally,
do
they
it on
listen.
purpose.
Only
They should
way to
just do it
tune
on
your game into
purpose.
a
Finally,
state
yes,
no
just feels
player
better,
is
you know?
complaining is to make them all quit. Because of these reasons, I strongly recommend that we stop using the idea of fairness as a tuning goal. Goal number 2. A favorite goal of viewers is variety. But variety is not the result of mathematical balance or fairness. It's the result of enabling diverse player expression. Let me explain why. Each individual player has their own playstyle and their own view on what aspects of your game or characters are fun. This includes the type of risks different players want to take when trying to win. Some players want to play it as safe as possible and focus on reactions with a low risk, low reward strategy. Other players may want to gamble, taking big bets and trying to get maximum rewards. And
Oh my God,
everything
you're gonna do
between
it?
those two
Oh!
extremes exists as well.
You
If a character is
failed.
harder to learn and pilot.
Are we
and
doing
optimize,
the
should that
Timmy
character
Spike
be equal in theoretical power
and,
output with a character that's
so
trivial
on
to
discourse?
learn and pilot and optimize? An easy
Magic the
character could
Gathering
be considered
archetypes?
low risk. A difficult character could be considered high risk. If both risks result in the same reward, which character will most players choose? Or, to put it more plainly, one character is low risk, high reward, and the other one is high risk, high reward. What I've observed over the years is that when a game is tuned toward a more flat mathematical balance, playstyles start to converge. When this happens, players gravitate towards one of two types of characters. They'll either play the characters that are easiest to win with, thus lowering their risk, or they'll play the characters that look the coolest or sexiest, because the vibes matter a lot to us. And watch out if your easy characters are also your coolest ones. We won't often achieve tournament variety by flattening win rate and use rates, because doing so flattens out the number of reasons different players gravitate toward different characters or play patterns.
Okay.
It's the quantity of different motivators that you offer to your players that breeds variety. Despite not being widely considered to have the most balanced roster, the original version of Guilty Gear Xrd Sign would frequently see large variety of characters in tournament top 8s. Why? Because the characters are so different and diverse that they appeal strongly to different player types. Conversely, in the Tekken series, many of the characters share
Good job,
variations of the
Daisuke.
same game plan and have similar risk-reward values. But in Guilty Gear, almost no characters play even remotely alike. This is why when Tekken misses the mark, it's much more common to see something like 4 Bobs in a Tekken 6 top 8, like at EVO 2011, or 6 Leroys in a Tekken 7 top 8, like at EVO Japan in 2020. If the Guilty Gear developers worked hard to flatten the game using data, they'd end up destroying many players' favorite playstyles, and the result would almost certainly be a game with less variety for viewers. And we did, in fact, end up seeing this in motion at the launch of Guilty Gear Strive, which had top 8s dominated by many appearances of Soul Bad Guy, a character boasting the trifecta of easy to use, powerful, and super cool. Because at launch, Strive was more simple, and many of the characters felt more samey than in past iterations of the franchise. Players gravitated towards this very easy and powerful badass. Down the line, as new mechanics and extremely unique characters were added to the roster, tournament variety improved a great deal. As a goal, variety is an admirable and understandable one. It's actually measurable with telemetry by looking at tournament results. And if you aren't hitting a good level of variety, your player base will absolutely let you know.
For sure.
But unfortunately, I believe that you'll have a much harder time achieving variety by making it your end goal. Variety is a symptom of a healthy game ecosystem, not the result of a mathematically balanced game. Variety has another enemy, optimization of play patterns, which I'm going to talk more about later. And finally, the third goal,
the best way to play the character is the only way to play.
The only real and true goal worth pursuing with game tuning efforts. Player retention. Retention is all about making your existing players want to play more, or at a bare minimum, preventing them from Fairness is a cute idea. Variety is nice to have if you can get it, but if players aren't playing, there isn't any point to anything you might change in your game. We tune the game and engage with players so that they'll continue playing. That is the goal. We already discussed why players quit, and among the reasons within our control are that they get too frustrated or the gameplay stops being thoughtful and engaging, so they get bored. Using this, we can break down our main retention goal into smaller parts. We need to A, reduce player frustration, B, increase and reinforce thoughtful play patterns that result in engagement, and C, do all of that while trying to enable and maintain a high level of diverse player expression. Easy, right? Naturally, doing all of those things while keeping the community happy with the direction you're going is not so easy after all. But in my experience, there are strategies you can use to make it work. So here's my approach to game tuning with those goals in mind. To the developers watching this, the tuning strategies and methodologies I use work for me. They might work for you or they might not. My goal is to share with you what I've learned so that you can use the parts that make sense for you and your project. Just remember to always be critical about what you use and why. To players watching this, I hope you take away an improved vocabulary about game tuning and a wider view of what the goals of game tuning really are. And I hope that you can use this to improve the way you communicate with developers and each other. The classical approach of using data as a metric to measure the success of your tuning efforts is what I'll call tuning for flatness, wherein you try to achieve fairness and variety by normalizing telemetry and survey data. But when tuning, you need to approach the problem less like a banker balancing the books and more like a beekeeper making sure that the hive is healthy and thriving. Imagine that you're responsible for balancing the environment of Earth, and you get a data report and discover that there are 20 quadrillion ants on the planet, but only 3 trillion trees. If you believe this is an imbalance, you aren't in the right mindset to tune a competitive game. A version of Earth with 20 quadrillion trees would have no space at all for anyone to exist. A version with only 3 trillion ants is going to cause serious ecological disasters as the food chain collapses. Good game tuning has a lot more in common with musical composition than it does hard science. It requires harmonious choices, purposeful and intentful imbalance of volume and frequency and tempo to achieve the desired emotional effect. What works in one song won't necessarily work in another, which means one game's right answers might be totally wrong for another. All aspects of your game need to harmonize and come together to be stronger than the sum of all of its parts. I call this tuning for harmony. When tuning a game, you're the conductor. Your job is to lead players emotionally where you'd like them to go, not follow the player's whims or manipulate telemetry numbers. A game that is tuned for harmony is trying to achieve retention by creating a game state in which the highest number of players can each have their own unique brand of fun, express themselves, and stay engaged. This is a harmonious environment where joy and passion can thrive. Any imbalance that you put into place with intent
now a question of budget
based on your
enters.
vision for the game,
there
to make it more interesting and exciting.
Right.
It isn't an accident.
Producers have entered the
Mathematical
chat.
imbalance in your telemetry is not seen as a problem under this lens. It could be a symptom of a problem sometimes, but it could just as well be that the imbalance actually makes the whole stronger. How will you know the difference? Well, in order to tune for harmony, you're going to need a few things. First, you're going to need to put someone on your team in charge of game tuning, and that person needs to be able to play at a high enough level to feel the real game. They don't have to be tournament champions or the best in the world, but they should be strong enough to play alongside players of that caliber. This player needs to be under a few mandates. Number one, they can't play in tournaments, so they can't be selfish about tuning. I'm not saying no one on your team can compete, I'm just suggesting that this one person should not compete in the game that you are making. They can feel free to compete in other games to scratch that itch. Number two, they shouldn't even have a main character or weapon. And they should spend their playtime using the characters or weapons the community think are the weakest, and against strong players using the characters or weapons people think are the most offending to see if they even agree. Number three, they should try to think of the game as a whole, play the whole roster relatively well, and understand what aspects of each character are the most core to their identity and fun factor. A player who, say, only uses grapplers or only uses shotguns and can't get out of their comfort zone is going to struggle in this role. Number four, they should try to understand the feelings of players at various skill levels and keep each bracket of players in mind when tuning. You don't tune to give weaker players a chance against more experienced players, but you do need to tune against inexperienced players' unique frustrations if you want to retain them. This can be a challenging set of asks for a member of your team, but I believe it's crucial.
That's very
This
difficult.
person
It's
is your
so
lantern in
interesting
the dark
too
cave.
because like there's that particular thing where like balancing around skill levels, right? I'm thinking about how games have recently been about how the approach of Rekka moves in games has been, where Elfelt has her like chain, and basically like anytime you do something kind of like with Abel where it's very telegraphed, very easy to react to, not real, then you're like, this move ends up it doesn't matter how many branches you have here, they're kind of baked in and ultimately end up being worthless and high level. Right? I feel like there's been a lot of examples of like that as a it's made for characters for players at low level to get mixed by, because they're like, I'm gonna block this and then I'm gonna see if it's an overhead or not an overhead, and then try to challenge in between, or like you kind of have essentially like a series of baked in options that works at low level as a mix, but at high level it completely becomes nullified. So then you have to do something like Jinrai, right, where it becomes like, oh, there is no clean answers here. Actually, you can't just react to every one of the options. You have to do things like that to make it work. And then now you have a Rekka for high level,
Yeah.
but at low level
It's gonna crush everything.
it dominates.
Yeah.
Because it ends up being something that like people at intermediate and below are like, they're like, this is the worst thing ever. But that's, so I just feel like the way Rekkas have been used recently is like a good example of almost of like how fast things come out and how like reactable they are and how baked the options are, is like tied to levels of it's tied to the level of skill that the player has, and if the answer is supposed to be, you don't have the reaction time to deal with this, so we're expecting you to get hit by it, you know what I mean, then that's like not gonna apply obviously after a certain cutoff point. But you don't want to have a move be like, you don't want to have a character have a whole suite of moves that are like, well, once you get good enough to react to a certain speed of this of move, then this whole thing is worthless.
Okay.
Without them, you'll be lost, and you'll spend most of your time guessing your way back to the light. If you don't have this person on your team, you're going to have to find them externally and hire them. Next, listen to your players. Seriously. Players lie, but you still need to hear them. Players are often right about the symptoms, even if they don't understand the best ways to fix the problems. If you can, find a few players who love your game and have a better big picture sense than most, and talk to them a lot. These players are your canary in the coal mine. Don't take what they say at face value.
We found role
Always think
canceling but
critically,
didn't tell
a
anybody
discussion
about
with these
it.
key people can lead you to the right choices much more quickly and accurately, or keep you from making major mistakes. On KI, of the hundreds of players I spoke to, I trusted exactly 2 to give me the kind of feedback that helped me validate or make tuning decisions, and maybe 10 more to give me thoughts that were helpful. I learned who was who by chatting with the players a lot and being observant. Even with their help, we didn't make the right choice 100% of the time, and you won't either. But you should try to find your key players and make your success rate stronger. As you get information from telemetry and player sentiment reports, filter it and test against it rigorously. It's critical that you do not knee-jerk react to the things you hear, and it can be extremely difficult not to when influencer groupthink pressure campaigns arrive at your doorstep. You need to deploy changes quickly enough to minimize frustration, but you need to be measured enough to know when a problem is being overblown or a solution that works for your game has not yet been found. As an example, in Killer Instinct and WoolieVersus, I found that an average of 3 to 4 weeks worked for non-catastrophic issues based on those games' audiences and goals. For catastrophic issues, every day counts, and you need to get those fixes out in 2 to 3 days if possible, while communicating often with the community. In most phases of game dev, there's a mountain of work to do and not enough time to do it all. So how do you prioritize your work and attention? During development, before you even have players, you need to spend time and energy on features that will let you deploy
Twixcare with the live
game-tuning
hotfix system
changes
is
without
interesting.
full and expensive title updates.
No
These hotfix
stuff can be
systems
touched
literally
in the
save your
background
game's
without a
life.
patch.
Once your game is out,
rolling
stay alert for mega frustrators. Things in the game that are so far out of bounds that players won't tolerate them until your next major patch.
Or without a
Use
major
your
patch
hotfix
rolling out, I
system
should say.
and nuke these from orbit. There's a lot of competition for players' attention, so don't give them an excuse to quit and play something else. Early on in WoolieVersus, players discovered a bug when double bouncing using a stop sign weapon that allowed them to safely drop a city block-sized instant kill damage zone with 0 counterplay. Our next patch was 5 weeks away, and our user base would have shrunk to near nothing in mere days if we had been unable to fix this issue. Thanks to our hotfix system, we were able to get a fix deployed to players in a few days instead of the 5 weeks it would have taken if we had to wait for our next major patch, ensuring that most of the frustrated players retained. Nailing this built trust between us and the players, so that if something like that ever happened again, they'd help calm each other down, knowing that we'd likely fix it quickly. There are, of course, some common mistakes to avoid when tuning. You should avoid focusing on individual character versus character or team comp versus team comp matchup tuning. Conceptually, these things are big buckets of variables, and it's way too easy to get lost and cause unexpected knockdown effects in other areas of your game if you take on something so broad. You should instead spend time on much smaller and clearer details, which I'll discuss in this section. You also need to avoid overreacting or reacting too quickly if the severity of the issue isn't high. Judge severity by the level of frustration.
Delete your Twitter account, got it.
Validate it yourself by playing against it and see how pissed off you get. So after all that, what exactly is my method?
You want to be in the muck
First,
at this point?
I start by thinking about the big picture of risk versus reward across the entire game. So many tuning decisions can be more smartly made if you're able to correctly
Only take
assess
feedback
both
from
the risk
IRC.
and reward of common actions in the game. Any new character or move you put in the game has to match this framework that you've conceptualized. Let's see some basic examples of risk versus reward and assess them. Think about headshots in shooters. If you aim for the body and you miss left or right, you hit the arms. If you miss low, you hit the legs. If you miss high, you might get a headshot. Your risk of missing when aiming for the body is at its lowest, and the reward is usually standard damage. If you aim for the head and you miss low, you hit the body and you get standard damage. But if you miss left, right, or high, you don't hit the target at all and deal no damage. The reward for a headshot is vastly increased damage output if you can land it. As a system, the risk-reward of headshots makes logical and practical sense. This is a good example of an extremely common and effective risk-reward system that breeds thoughtful play, as both aiming for the body or head are effective, but carry different levels of risk and reward that change as you switch weapons, distances, fight targets that move at different speeds, or even increase your own skill level. Now let's look at a risk-reward problem. Take, for example, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. If you use Magneto's heavy attack, which is slower and harder to land to start your combo damage will be high enough to kill even the sturdiest characters in the game. However, if you start your combo with a quick light attack that comes out fast and hits low, and it's one of the easiest moves in the game to land, your combo damage will still be high enough to kill even the sturdiest characters in the game. The lower and higher risk options both have the same reward. So in this case, skilled players will almost unanimously gravitate towards using low risk attacks since the outcome is the same no matter what. Let's compare that to another game's take on this. In Guilty Gear Strive, using a quick punch or kick attack has less combo options and scales the combo's damage and hit stun duration more harshly. Using a slower slash or heavy slash attack gives you the highest damage combo starters and lets you combo more generously. The lower risk option here has a lower reward. This gives players a reason to use more of their options in various situations, rather than falling back to the easy and quick ones. The next thing to look out for when hunting risk-reward problems is unjustified inconsistency. Let's check out Killer Instinct. In KI, every character has a 5-frame quick attack, but not every character has the same range or properties on their quickest attack. Not all of them get the same level of reward. Is this a problem? If the designers made these choices randomly, it might very well be. But if you deliberately design weaknesses into the character kits to compensate for their more extreme strengths, which is usually where their identity and fun lie, it could be perfectly okay to have a character whose quickest attack has poor range, or one that can't be rapid fire cancelled, or one that can only successfully combo into one specific unsafe opener special move. Context is everything. Equality will flatline the playstyles. Risk-reward should make sense within each character, but also across all characters. Consider the characters Saberwolf, who is one of the easiest characters to play as, and Arya, It was the most difficult character in the game to play as. As I mentioned before, high difficulty is a risk, as the player has way more mistakes they could conceivably make in a match, and their options may be much more difficult to optimize. In a game tuned for flatness, perhaps Saberwolf and Arya should have a similar potential at top levels of play. But when balancing for harmony, we must acknowledge that Arya's high difficulty means she should have a higher number of top level advantages than other characters. Her higher risk should be justified by a higher potential reward. If an easier character could match her potential, almost no one would invest time into the character. Imbalance can absolutely ruin a game. Or, imbalance could create harmony.
Jump scare.
How? If each character's moves are not built equally,
and when we're talking about the range and flatness in there, as long as we're not talking about character weight.
High risk, high reward characters living alongside low risk.
Because you can balance for character weight, but it's just unfun.
You need to find the right mix. So long as the risk-reward values across your game make sense together, player identities will shine through and create variety and reduce repetitive play patterns.
You like guts?
Like Berserk guts?
The guts system.
The guts when you get like
in Guilty Gear, scaling a character-specific damage scaling down as you get closer to death.
I think it's weird.
I don't like it.
I think it's weird.
I understand the system being one for it's a tension builder, so that you can't tell how close you are to death the closer you are to death. I understand that you want the infinity, the magic pixel effect kind of thing, but I don't like it. I just don't. It's always been a negative factor to me.
I can understand that.
You know, and I think that the things that people have done to make like that sort of feeling, like supers that only do all their damage on the last hit for a cinematic effect and things like that. Like you can do things like that, right? You can do things to make it so that the tension is high and as the match gets tense, but it gets closer to the end and such. But something like Guts, where like the drastic difference between what you see. Like when I play Guilty Gear and I see this much damage, and then as you're about to die, it's half of that.
Yeah.
Like I don't internalize what actual damage my combo is doing, and as a result, it just feels bad because I'm like, I guess this is strong enough.
Yeah. I
know the number, but it's gonna be affected by this really complex calculation according to the character, and I don't care to like
if you don't know any better. I remember back in the days before I got more knowledgeable about fighting games, you do a combo at the beginning in Guilty Gear and like, wow, look at all this damage. Look at all that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you do the same combo later towards the end and you're like, that didn't kill?
I did a super. I used all my resources.
All the things.
Nothing.
It did like 1,000,000 damage early, and now I'm not sure how to calculate this.
Yeah, and that little mental thing you do when you play a lot of fighting games of just like, this combo in my brain is going to do about this much to his life bar, so I'm already thinking about what comes next.
Yeah.
Doesn't work there, and maybe that's the intent, but I don't like how inconsistent it is. It's so drastic from the beginning of the life bar to the end of it, that it makes it a negative to me.
Yeah, and there are some situations in Guilty Gear where I think sometimes at the end of if they're low on health, the best option is like to do like launcher jab, and I'm like, that's counterintuitive to me.
For scaling purposes.
Yeah.
Anyway. Or even the burst supers, where it's like spend the burst to do a little bit extra, to do extra damage to cut through the guts scaling, right? Feels like to use it for the kill. It's like it's a cool system to have as an option, but overall, I'm like, that's one aspect of character uniqueness that, like character weight, is just unfun in its application, in my opinion.
For instance, low or no risk tactics that have high rewards, such as safe jumps in fighting games, can be simultaneously boring for the attacker and very frustrating for the defender. Try to use this line of thinking to identify outliers, and then study the characters or situations these outliers
We're both
belong
yawning
to,
at set play.
so you can understand if they're a problem or not. Be purposeful with your design. Build in deliberate strengths and weaknesses, and commit to them. This is not scientific. The developer responsible for game tuning is going to need a strong vision, a clear understanding of their target audience, and the ability to step back and try to feel all of this from a distance and see the big picture. The next thing you need to stay on top of is frustration. The opposite of frustration is fun, and so these exist on a single scale together. Some frustration is okay, and it can even be good for your game, so long as frustration doesn't overtake fun for your target audience. Imagine
target
leaping off a
audience?
building in a game with fall damage versus one without. The game without fall damage is definitely less frustrating, but it also lacks the adrenaline rush of attempting the leap and finding a way to land safely despite the danger. Neither of these approaches are wrong, it's just that each better suits a different audience. When an individual's frustration outweighs their fun, they quit. In a single player game, this part's really easy. In Zelda Breath of the Wild, the fun is in exploring and traversing this massive, handcrafted world, solving puzzles, getting into battles, and then you have to interact with the very frustrating menus to cook food and manage your inventory, and then all of your weapons break. Some parts of the game are fun, and some parts are frustrating. They pull on each other within me to help me decide if I should keep playing or quit. So let's explain the fun frustration scale a bit better. It weighs my own personal fun versus my own personal frustration. This scale represents me, not the game itself. This scale is not about truth, it's about my relationship with the game. If the fun side weighs more, I keep playing. I'll place weights that represent my personal enjoyment from exploration, puzzles, and combat on the left side. The fun side of the scale is heavier now, and so it moves down. Fun weighs more. And now I'll place weights that represent my own personal frustration from having to cook or navigate menus, or when my weapons break. Maybe the weight of your personal frustration from, say, weapons breaking is less than mine, and that would be reflected on your own personal version of the scale.
Yeah.
As you can see, the total weight of my fun in Breath of the Wild is heavier than the total weight of my frustrations. If we make the cooking interface a little better, the weight of my total frustration lowers, but the weight of my fun doesn't increase, because improving the cooking interface doesn't improve the exploration, even though it does improve my overall relationship with the game. Remember, the lower side of the scale is the one that's winning out. Even in competitive games, some frustration is totally unrelated to gameplay aspects of the product. Like if it takes you 3 minutes to simply log into the game and another 8 minutes to find a match. But on the gameplay side of competitive games, this concept is a series of landmines, because it is extremely common that one player's fun is exactly the other player's frustration. The more fun you let a player have, the more frustrated their opponent on the receiving end of that fun is likely to be. I think we all understand that players quit because frustration overtakes fun. And this obviously happens when the weight of the frustration side of the scale gets heavier. But it can also happen if the weight of the fun side gets lighter.
Oh no.
If I make something less frustrating for the victim, it may reduce fun for the attacker. It's very often zero-sum. In this example, this individual's frustration about being hit wasn't very high in the first place, and didn't change when combos got shorter. But because they enjoyed doing long combos so much, the weight of their fun dropped, suddenly causing frustration to outweigh the fun for them. This change may have drastically reduced the frustration for another player and improved their personal scale, while causing this particular player to consider quitting. In the gameplay of competitive games, you generally can't make things universally better for everyone. There will almost always be a give and take. Because of this, you need to communicate heavily with and keep an eye on your community to see frustration trends appearing. And you need to move quickly to test against them to see how valid you believe they are. Some frustrations can be healthy for a game. Remember, this is an ecosystem. High highs are rarely possible without low lows. What you need to look out for are mega frustrators, things that are so annoying to deal with that no matter how fair their risk-reward values may seem, that they have to be tuned or you're going to rapidly lose chunks of your audience.
Yeah, I'm gonna introduce the head nod metric.
Yeah.
Right? There, like one of my goals would be when you're getting hit by something that I can get as many players to go, yeah, okay, all right. Yeah,
I got it. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
If you can get that out of the person getting hit, that's that's a balancing metric.
They're going. They keep going.
Yeah,
that's retention right there.
You know what?
Okay,
yep,
yeah,
I deserve it. Yeah. I don't know why I did that.
Okay. You know? Next time I'll be ready for that.
I was pressing buttons. I shouldn't have pressed buttons.
That's all me.
That was,
okay, that's fine. That's fine. You got me.
You got it.
Often only make game tuning decisions around risk and reward with top level play in mind.
Oh, please talk about throw loops.
Actually, mid and lower level players are not able to observe the whole of the known game yet, and are extremely unlikely to notice the risk reward tuning that we do. But when tuning against frustration, we need to consider all levels of play. In Killer Instinct, Gargos is a portal punch move, a tracking projectile that can start a ranged combo. This move was easier to deal with at higher levels of play. Its risk-reward values mostly made sense. It had counterplay, and it fit the character's kit really well. But at mid to low levels of play, this move became a mega frustrator.
Okay, that's kind of what I was just saying
to it,
about
while available and plentiful,
Rekas,
were not apparent enough at those levels of play, and the move was causing a number of players to threaten to quit. We tested against this claim as best as we could, and ultimately agreed that this move had crossed the line for that level of play. As a result, we adjusted the move quite a few times to find a spot that still worked for top level play, but was much less frustrating at other levels of play. Even at low levels of play, if a player feels like their opponent can beat them with just one brain-dead tactic, which they'll often call spam, they'll frustrate out of the game. Importantly, there is a limit to how weak we were willing to make this move. After a certain point, we had to let the community know that we were not taking the move out of the game, and that if they were struggling to deal with this version of the move, they'd need to practice. Our goal isn't to solve the problem for everyone, but to reach a compromise that still might ask some players to overcome their frustrations. If you show your community that you're listening and they believe in you, they will invest effort on their side more readily to overcome challenges and minor frustrations, meeting you in the middle. That means sometimes, yes, asking players to learn or practice is a part of the bargain. Speaking of brain-dead stuff, we need to prevent
not
people
everyone's
from
going to
getting
be
bored.
that good-natured.
On a moment-to-moment level, this makes thoughtless gameplay our enemy. You're spending a lot of time not making meaningful decisions. Even if the base actions feel great and have great feedback, you'll eventually get bored. Engagement is the result of making a decision and then seeing the rewarding or punishing results of that decision. Remember our WoolieVersus stop sign nuke example? This technique was extremely frustrating to get hit by, but was super fun and funny to do to people at first.
It's kind of sick.
Once you mastered the movement needed to do it, which
It's
to be
kind of
honest
sick,
wasn't
though.
very hard at all, it became a thoughtless way to play. You'd land in the world, find a stop sign, nuke a city block, repeat. Brain off. So even the people using and abusing the technique were experiencing disengagement due to the degenerate play pattern the stop sign nuke represented. Long combos or block strings in fighting games with zero or infrequent defensive mechanics can also cause a lot of disengagement. Players across many genres do not respond well to losing control of their character. In fighting games, you lose control of your character every time you get hit.
Yeah.
My own small-scale studies show players...
What's the most bored you've been winning? Have you ever had that feeling?
Oh, that's a good question. I would need a moment for that.
Because I'm thinking of, like, it doesn't happen much, but I'm thinking of, there's certain games of Skullgirls where I'm playing Peacock and I just wall out the opponent. And I'm like, I'm effectively spamming the screen with shit, teleporting to the other side, doing all the things, and and it's fun to zone and effectively win.
Yeah.
But like but there are some times where the match kind of just goes,
does it on its own.
It just goes and goes and goes, and there's a little bit of like, okay, it's not switching up.
Yeah.
This has been the whole match, where you're like, all right, they don't know, and I do, so this knowledge check is going to be failed for the next 90 seconds.
Does it come with the character? Like, imagine you're playing against someone and you're playing a rushdown character. That's very fun. And
Of course, because you're in their face.
Going in. But Peacock, if you're zoning them out and they're not able to deal with the zoning, you're kind of like doing the same thing all the time.
Well, to ask it another way,
It's-
would you ever play Morrigan in Marvel 3? Chris G style?
If I had the hands,
Okay.
maybe I
And
would.
is there any part of you, like, and you're just like, it's tech, it works, it's good, lock it down, lame it out, and you'd
You would win. And
I feel like, because I have that
like,
thing.
I'm thinking of like Gal players, I'm thinking about Dawson players, you know.
Mhm.
And if the other opponent is not able to get in, then
Mhm.
tough on them. But some people thrive on that. It's not me personally.
Mhm.
And I'm the kind of person that, like you said, I get bored of doing
Yeah.
the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
To a point where I'm like, I'll just do something completely different because whatever. I'll change characters because whatever. You know?
Like, I respect play to win as a concept, but I actually don't personally believe in it spiritually.
Okay. Yeah.
I will tell others about it, and I will quote the mantra, as you are supposed to in this genre, but I also know that in my heart of hearts, if I don't enjoy the character I'm playing or the way that I'm playing the character, I'd rather not play the game. And it's inconsistent, and it's not the way to go about winning. And winning is going to make you feel good in most scenarios. When I want to win, I don't want to lose, but I do care about winning on my own terms.
Right. In the way that you want to win.
Which means I'm not going to win as much as I could.
Yeah, okay.
And I acknowledge that.
You should stick to the game plan.
I know that about myself at this point. And I discovered it not just in this genre, I discovered it in playing Tekken. When I got to literally top 10 globally in that game. And I was going through it in a way where I was like, I don't have a main. I'm just playing meta. And there was
playing on its own.
Yeah, and I had way less fun just playing meta, net decking, and staying on top of the win rate with decks I didn't care about, with characters and setups I didn't care about, with things that weren't fun for me to do, as opposed to when I enjoyed what the deck I was playing or the character I was playing and what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, I felt the difference between the two, and I kind of am like, yeah, I know myself. I know that I care about how I win and not just that I win.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Horrible for competitive purposes.
You look at a character and like, yeah, I could play this character. That character seems like it's winning, but it doesn't appeal to me. I would get bored playing it. Like, play something else.
Getting on a plane and flying to Vegas to compete in a tournament where you're not doing everything you possibly can to win.
Yeah.
There's something silly about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But I just know who I am inside. And
yeah.
They're starting to disengage and have frustration spikes on average between the 6 and 8 second marks of losing control of their character. Obviously, some individuals, especially in the FGC, have an extreme tolerance to this and can routinely sit through repetitive 40-second long combos on the receiving end. But this, in my experience, is not a critical mass of people. I'm not saying you should never make a game with long combos. I'm just suggesting that you need to understand the kind of audience you're trying to retain.
That 80K.
If the long combos do exist, find ways to make them more varied and or less frequent. Disengaged players on defense are very likely to quit, but disengaged players on offense are, believe it or not, also likely to quit. Game balance and target audience are extremely related. It's not just that the audience has its own feelings about game balance and what frustrations weigh the most to them, but also that different types of game balance attract and repel different types of audiences, and different audiences self-select into different types of games and game balance outcomes. Let's look at 3 example scales. In the first, developers worked very hard to sand off every frustration they could, regardless of how much fun had to go to achieve that. Even though the weight of the frustration side is light, so is the weight of the fun side of the scale. This can result in even very minor frustrations feeling oversized, can make spending time with the game feel not worth it because the fun it delivers is sterile or bland. Players of this game have less reasons to quit, yes, but they also have less reasons to play. In the second scale, developers didn't really care about frustrators, so this theoretical game has a very high frustration weight, but it also has a very high fun weight. You'll notice that the ratio of the scale is similar to the first, but the actual weight of each side matters a great deal. While the audience may be smaller in this type of game, the immense weight of the fun side of the scale is going to have the players who can deal with the high level of frustration calling this a favorite game. Some players call these kinds of games kusori,
BNF duel?
Japanese slang for shonen. They say it lovingly and disparagingly all at once. It's fascinating. In the final scale, which is probably the ideal goal for developers from...
I was doing those fucking Crusader loops because it was Crusader. And because I was enjoying doing those loops as him.
Yes.
Other characters that could do that shit in the game, locked down with Striker and all that. I'm like, yeah, no, I want to quote the Bible while I put you the wall up, you know.
Most projects, frustrations were addressed carefully in ways that, while inevitably did lower the weight of the fun side a bit, didn't overdo it. This scale is indeed the healthiest of the 3 examples, as the weight of the fun is still high and it vastly outweighs the frustration side.
Sorry, one second, I'm going to back that up.
Didn't
Example
overdo
3.
Carefully in ways that, while inevitably did lower the weight of the fun side a bit, didn't overdo it. This scale is indeed the healthiest of the 3 examples, as the weight of the fun is still high and it vastly outweighs the frustration side. That's why it's so important to know your audience. None of these 3 results are wrong or bad. They just serve different people. As you tune your competitive game, you need to keep your target audience in mind. I highly suggest using Quantic Foundry's data on
that's
player
the one I was
motivation
talking
to help
about.
segment your audience into
He
buckets
told me
you
about
can
this
more easily understand. There will be people outside of your target audience
Tons of good
who will
data.
try your game, and the majority of these people are unretainable.
Which can be used
In this
nefariously.
example, our core audience member
Oh,
on the left
oh
is
no.
happy, but our player from outside the core group on the right is having less fun, because this isn't their usual kind of game, and their unfamiliarity adds even more frustration. If the weight of their frustration is so high that reducing some of it still leaves their frustration outweighing their fun, the game just isn't for them.
Yeah, like audience check when those Magneto loops were going off. You know, were you going, God fucking damn it, this is crazy? Or were you going, There are two types of people. One, two. Yeah, all right. Just someone's yawning, checking their watch, and the other person's like,
It's like, yeah. Buttons.
Squeeze that bitch. Oh, yeah, right.
But if you insist on trying to reduce the weight of their frustration, you may be cutting away at the fun of your core audience, which could also result in some of their frustration suddenly outweighing their fun. In this example, we made changes that made the game less frustrating for people outside the core audience by changing things in the game that were not frustrating at all to the core users. The result of that was a loss of fun for the core players. We failed to make enough of a dent to retain people outside the core group, and now we've put a portion of our core audience at risk of quitting too. Not every edge needs softening. If you're lucky enough to make a game that lasts for quite a long time,
Friction
you may
makes sparks.
also encounter players who, despite loving your game and thinking that it's relatively well-tuned, are becoming bored from repetition. At this time, you'll have to weigh the reward of doing some kind of tuning shakeup to get people re-engaged, against the risk of that action frustrating a vocal and influential part of your community. The Street Fighter 6 community is
Strive
going through this right
reinvention
now as
of the
filming
game.
in early 2026. Many in the community feel the game is well-tuned, but still want a big shakeup anyway because they are becoming bored. Matches are lacking in surprise or discovery, and the feeling of
I'm seeing a lot of content about this. Yeah.
And finally, we get back to
it is super interesting. I'm seeing a lot of that, and I mean, we've talked about it a little too. Like, there's a lot of videos about like, do something with Street Fighter. You know, throw loops are a big conversation point, and but they're not as much anymore.
But now they're like, oh, something new, something to
shake it up a bit, which is crazy because it's like, even if it's
the game is
fine, even if it's fine, but yeah, you know. So then it's back to like, okay, is teching? How good should teching be? You know, if you decide to go for it at the end of the day, should you win the round for teching successfully? And but yeah, it's just so interesting to see like, yeah, no, game's fine, but the negativity is now more about just like waiting for a shakeup of some kind to occur.
Optimization,
which I don't remember occurring in recent memory with fighting games. I don't know. I can't think of a major release, or at least like an Evo stage game where it's been in a state where it's like, no, that's fine. Over, like, I mean, obviously things like and the crazy shit is always a focus of conversation, but overall, like, nothing's really on fire. But the feeling of just like, but even still, I want something to shake it up, you know, was there. I get the feeling that like Under Night, I don't know enough about how Under Night is going, but I always feel like it's this like perfectly this perfect community of everyone is playing it and enjoying it, like accepting balance inequalities and sores and all, because there's just enough going on with the system and characters, and those who play it just love it that much. You know, but I don't know, for example, if there's ever a like, you know, which, to be fair, I'm like, people who are asking for that in like a Street Fighter 6 context are the opposite of people who've been playing Melee for decades. Or ST for decades, you know.
Is the enemy. I'm not talking about software performance here. I'm talking about players optimizing their gameplay choices to minimize risk and maximize reward. Optimal combos, option selects, unbreachable map positioning, etc. You need to make a game where the right answers are much more obscured, or better yet, much more plentiful. You want a game where surprise and discovery can continue for as long as possible post-launch. For instance, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3's fast-paced, neutral, and rapid decision-making is one of the best parts of the game and has lots of surprises and memorable moments even 15 years later. But when I land a hit with virtually any attack, it becomes very clear what I should do. I should perform my very long combo with little to no reason for variation and kill your character. This optimal play gives me maximal reward with minimum decision-making, so long as I can execute, and takes up a large portion of the time spent playing during any match. During the combo, a skilled attacker is only engaged at the start as they try to stabilize the opponent and decide if they need to burn X Factor or any meter. The defender should try to engage the entire time no matter how long the combo, in case the combo drops on accident or
Round start touch,
attempted.
pause,
But
return
focusing
to
for
character
that
select.
long without meaningful decisions to make is exhausting, and it also results in disengagement and frustration. Street Fighter 6 steps it up by obscuring optimal combos quite a bit better than Marvel vs. Capcom 3. When you score a hit, the starter you used can matter a lot more. You need to look at screen position, your drive meter, your opponent's drive meter, your health, your opponent's health, what round it is, your own super meter conditions to make sure you can decide how to best optimize what combo to do, how much resources to spend.
Mental stack.
This game is much harder to optimize, but ultimately it can be done. Top level play in Street Fighter 6 after a while has virtually every player using the same combos in similar situations once those players are fluent enough in the game to know the optimal answer in each situation. Though you do see some player expression variation, with some high-risk players spending more drive meter to burn themselves out on purpose more frequently, while others are more conservative with their gauge if the combo isn't going to kill or checkmate. Street Fighter 6 makes the right answers more plentiful, more diverse in risk-reward values, and they take longer for players to optimize because there are so many variables.
But it still
Ideally,
happens.
you want to make a game where, instead of the right answers being difficult but ultimately possible to optimize, players are presented with a variety of correct answers, each representing their own risk-reward values. So instead of a community working together to solve the game like a puzzle, after which conformity of playstyle begins to occur, players will instead focus on making the choices that best fit their own personalities. Player expression breeds variety. Imagine a series of possible combos all starting from the same hit confirm. Each does more damage than the last, but is also harder to execute than the last. This may seem like a proper setup for risk and reward, and it isn't a bad way to start, but at top levels of play where execution starts to become irrelevant, what you'll get is a push towards optimization and conformity instead of expression and variety. Trying to create a system in which different combo routes give expressly different outcomes and have their own advantages and disadvantages beyond executional requirements will ensure that players can play their own way. Variety isn't just in character or weapon selection, it's also found within the playstyles of the people who use the same
fact that
characters
your
or weapons.
ender gives you different resources.
That's exactly. It's not the combo's difficulty at that point. We all know you can execute it.
Yeah.
We all know you're not going to drop it. It's what the situation calls for in this moment that you want. You know, be it damage, position, resources, etc. And little things like which of these 5 hits are you going to go for the shadow counter? You know, like little subsystems like that are just like, that even after we both are able to execute everything, the difficulty is not a factor. How can it still be not boring?
Harmony is not about making it hard for players to find the right answer. It's about giving them many right answers and letting each player lean towards their own favorites. In game design, all things should be done with intent. If someone asks me why I made a recent design decision and my answer is, I don't know, then I messed up. I may be forced to make a suboptimal decision from time to time due to various circumstances beyond my control, but I should still be able to clearly express why the decision was made. And you need to work very hard to make sure your players know that you move with intent. This means your patch notes need to communicate both what you're doing and why you're doing it. You need clear, detailed, thorough notes or videos that include reasons why your team chose these changes.
This is how it was.
Even if players disagree with your reasoning, they should be able to see clear intent.
Rising Thunder, Patchy Award winner of all time.
Often keep them from labeling you as someone blindly throwing darts to choose
right
balance
up there.
adjustments. I originally wrote a version of this talk that you're watching now back in 2019, and in the time between then and now, I'm very happy to report that developers across all the games that I play and watch have improved drastically in the area of patch notes.
Yeah, I just cannot stress enough how silly it was living in that era where in particular, like we would just get patch notes from Japan that were like various things have been adjusted, and it's like, are you like, do you have an approach philosophically where you're like, the more we tell the player, the more we expose the way the sausage is made, the less there's going to be, the less fun it's going to be, because people are going to get there anyway. They're just going to do it hating you or not, right? So I'm like the fact that we have, like, we're talking about frame data, for example, in games and acknowledging things like that and whatnot. It's like, yeah, just tell them. They're gonna get there. They're gonna do it to the game no matter what, right? Acting like it's a mystery that you have to go dig up in this way, and that's gonna. It's like, no. We're past that point, you know.
And if you don't tell them, they're gonna figure out why on their own, and it better be a goddamn good reason. Because if it makes no sense, and then they're like, "Why'd you do this?" and you go, "I don't know," then the change had no basis in the first place.
Yeah. You're waiting for fucking tool assisted and the people to start pulling out all kinds of hacking things to then show you where the hitbox shrunk and the hurt box increased, and then you have to basically insert your own guess as to the reasons why that was done. Or you can just be open and honest about it and go, this is what we expect, this is what we saw, and then this is how we're adjusting, you know? It's just such a strange place. I'm glad we're past that point. But it took a while. It took a while to get there.
Keep it up, thank you. As you tune, you will make mistakes. However, a community that has trust and confidence in you will tolerate those mistakes with lower levels of frustration, and will generally perceive the state of the game's balance more favorably because, after all, game balance is mostly just vibes. Vibes that you have a heavy hand in establishing and influencing. Remember, the process is not hear about the problem, followed by fix the problem. The process needs to be hear about the problem, investigate, and decide if you even agree it's a real problem. Use everything you've learned to find a solution to the problem that weighs all of the other problems that need solving, and how that solve might hurt or destabilize other parts of the game and the audience.
Thank you.
I'm also just remembering to some of the Air Dasher guys were talking about, well, basically just a conversation about like, when devs would come to Evo and like play matches against, you know, players in like different in anime games and stuff, and like that side of things, and how a dev losing to a high level player, there was a fear that might give a perception that, oh, the player would know better.
No, that's stupid.
It's insane. It's completely insane.
My God, yeah.
But there was this fear that, you know, that like, oh, essentially, like, if the person who's in charge of these decisions is not winning using these decisions, then they don't understand something about, and then as a result we lock down communication and we don't talk about why we do things as much inside, you know. And then this whole, like, you know, the mystery of our balancing and the mystery of how we develop and stuff is like, the more transparent we make it, the more we can be called out for what we do. Therefore, you know, we want to maintain an illusion of like being above it, you know. And it's like, no, man. Like, just because someone can win and beat everyone on the dev team does not mean that person can make better decisions about anything, you know.
Just because you're winning tournaments doesn't mean you would be able to make a good fighting game.
Yes, and on top of that, like, well, just quite obviously, the like, the person who, God damn it, I just lost my point. Shit. Fuck me. Not winning against the devs, but it's just the fear that people will call you out because they can see the intentions behind what you're doing and stuff. It's like, okay, but a lot of people will, I think more people will appreciate the transparency and will appreciate like approaching the game from an understandable, you know, perspective. And it goes a long way from, I guess, kind of, you know, old pop your quarter into the arcade machine mentality of like, yeah, you're not going to learn anything, and You know,
Yeah, the fun is in the discovery.
which I'm just like, we are just, the world is in a different place.
Yeah.
Times have moved on. You know, the internet exists.
YouTube is there.
Communities exist.
Yeah, people talk to each other.
It's not that anymore. You know, and trying to hold on to that and use its like obtuseness as a cloak is silly.
And then communicate with your players. So, to wrap this up, I believe a balanced roster isn't one where every character has an equal shot at winning, but it's one where there's a little something for every type of player within your core audience. I once heard a player ask why developers couldn't just balance a game before it came out. And as I hope you understand by now, that would be an impossible task because the audience, who will eventually decide what balance even means to them, haven't even touched a game yet. Tuning for harmony is my personal method of game tuning. It served me well across KI and Rumbleverse, and I hope you learned a lot about the goals and hazards of game tuning from this talk. If you're in charge of tuning a competitive game, you should do what works for you and your community. If you really believe in tuning for flatness or whatever method you use,
just make it good and perfect the first time,
or
though.
Achieving your goals, that's rad.
Just do it.
If you want to try some or all of my methods, that's cool too. I'll make myself available for consulting with folks in the industry who do this kind of work if people want that. Just hit me up on Blue Sky or wherever and we can work something out. Whatever your personal takeaways are, remember that game balance isn't real. It's not a hard, objective thing that we can measure and take scientific actions to fix. In reality, it's just a person's fully subjective perception. And not only that, our views can change on it, even by the day, and even when the game itself hasn't been adjusted at all. Instead of fixating so strongly on something so impossible to pin down, I believe designers should focus on much more important things when tuning a game. Those things are communicating clearly with your audience, minimizing their frustrations quickly and thoughtfully, and keeping them engaged with lots of interesting decisions to make, and surprising them with cool new interactions each time they play. And most of all, as a dev, tuning a game or a player reacting to patch notes, don't panic. If you made it to the end of the video, I hope this gets your brain flowing and makes discourse around game tuning a little stronger overall. And maybe as a bonus, it encourages gamers to give the devs who do game tuning a little more grace. I have a lot more to say on this topic, so condensing it down into this still pretty long video is quite the challenge. If you have follow-up questions or want to chat sometime, just drop a comment and I'll try to check it out. I want to thank AA for his hard work helping me write, execute, and edit this video that I've wanted to make for so long. I'd also like to thank Noah Sasso, Ultra David, Infilament, Mean Salty, and Ski Sonic for their help editing the script. The intent of this new Game Design Direct channel is to deliver more developer talk straight to you, so if you're interested in that, go ahead, click like and subscribe and all that stuff that you usually do on YouTube. If you're a game designer or interested in giving a talk in this format on this channel, contact me and we can discuss it. Thanks for watching.
Good stuff, Keats.
Game Design Direct.
That's great. That's great.
Well,
yeah.
I just followed the channel. I'm looking forward to the next video.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's a thesis statement laid out with the title, and provocative though it is, you know, it takes a minute to basically break it down. But, you know, he backed up all the points to essentially lay out, here's all the things you have to consider, and here's why you can't just nail that perfectly and easily. And yeah, and when you just kind of like look at it on its face, it's just, again, it's something that you can strive towards, but actually landing it, actually the dog actually catching the car, now what, you know, like, it's like, yeah, you don't actually, it's not something you expect to actually land on and achieve. There's so many factors. There's a crazy amount there, and I do like the idea of, like, here's the perfect kind of tester to have with you. You know, the person who Shang Tsung's the whole cast. Unbiased, not loyal to anybody, good enough to keep up with all the best, but just doesn't compete, doesn't have any, you know, corrupted motivations, you know. But it's
might not be a top player, but understands the game. You know?
Yeah, and I think, like, you know, now we're obviously starting to see that with a bunch of players whose names, people with tags that we recognize on the credits of various fighting games that are coming out.
Yeah,
you know, so that's becoming more and more of a reality. So that's really cool. not just the days of like, oh shit, again, like I said earlier, we found role canceling and we decided not to report it. You know, that's great. That's great. Very well done.
I know this video is mostly hinted at devs, but I hope the players can have some sort of introspection as well.
What are you talking about?
No.
What are you talking about?
No hope.
Are you out of your mind?
Zero hope. Oh man.
Am I trying to get out here and yell for my own peace, or am I trying to get some engagement, get some donations, and spike the cortisol? You know, like what are we talking about?
Character released.
No.
17 minutes in.
No.
This character is trash.
Angry.
Send tweet.
Big angry, big reaction, big mad.
I'm quitting the game.
Big views.
3,000 hours played.
Yes. Every
Never
time.
playing this game again. 4,000 hours played.
Every time. You know? Just fucking straight like making the bet. All right, I'm shutting down the studio. You know? Are you? Are you really shutting down the studio for real this time? Yeah. No, yeah. It really is. There's so much to be said, you know, and like obviously this, yeah. In the end, it ended up being like pretty FGC focused, but there's much to be said about it from looking at examples from Overwatch and such, and the hilariousness of patches that never went live.
Oh, that's so good.
But people were still feeling the improvements is incredible.
Game balance is all vibes. All vibes.
Mm-hmm. Like personally, I'm curious, like what bothers you in this type of in these types of situations where it's a game that you like, but there's an example of something that's just like completely busted up, right? But exists for a reason. Like I think I mentioned it earlier, but I think like throw loop discourse is it's a wild one, because like I've seen good arguments going back and forth on it, and I've seen that like the path that Capcom has chosen is to ultimately try to incentivize going for the tech, but it still isn't worth it to the top player to go for the tech no matter what.
It's scary.
No matter how much incentive you put there. But then I think recently shit. I'm speaking out of my ass a bit, but there was something that was off about like the person who was teching getting too much drive out of the reward that I saw someone talking about. But in any case, it's something where it was like, no matter how juicy and buttery you make the steak, you know, it's like if you fail, it's death. So they're not going to go for it. You're like, I'm curious, like, you know, do you think that that's something where like they should? Do you take a situation like that where this exists for this reason, because otherwise the strike throw balance of the game gets thrown into a completely unstable state? Do you make it so that everyone has to use resources? Do you make a drastic change to the system? You know, how do you feel about something like that, for example?
I don't have the answers, man. Like,
okay.
I don't want to be in the dev's position, honestly. You made the game, you make something, you release it into the wild, and people will take it as is, and then you have to decide if you change it or not. You know, what was the game? Strive had all this Wild Assault thing, and they were like, you know what? It didn't work out. We're removing it.
Bold and brave to just run it back and undo the feature,
right?
Take the system out of the game entirely.
So that takes a lot of guts to go through.
Yeah,
and I don't know what the solution is for throw loops in Street Fighter.
What if throw loops stayed the same but got more exciting to watch? The animations changed, and it wasn't so, and people all right, whatever.
Land 2 throws in a row. And then, oh! He landed 2 throws in a row!
It's not as repetitive for spectators, but system-wise, it's the exact same thing. The camera angles change, get a little more dynamic. The animations get a little more, whoa! Fucking clown shoot. All right, great stuff, Keats. Very good. Okay. I think, yeah, let me use the bathroom. We'll be back. y'all. Okay, you didn't see the Tokon stuff. You didn't see the Tokon trailer. Let's check it out.
I heard rumors.
Let's check
Show
it out.
me what it's about.
Prepare to face the supreme master of the pugilistic art, the Duke of Get Your Dukes Up, Mr. Champion!
Actions are worth more than any word.
That glow up is crazy.
The greatest action is to fight. You have defeated so many.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Before we get to the actual
What?
yeah, Marvel Comics deep cuts. Quite simply.
Okay.
So the why not grab the uploaded trailers? Because I didn't want to spoil who was in it if you didn't see it already. If you didn't get the reveals. The Marvel Comics deep cut. So remember last time that girl in purple was like a character that they pulled from an obscure thing, and we talked about like where she came from.
Okay.
And then that guy, the champion of the universe, is like the main. She shows up mainly around him. He's like the probably the big last boss, big story character. But this is originally what he looked like.
Wow.
So
he has a belt and everything.
Yep.
And a huge forehead.
Yep. So just big glow up.
Okay.
We are improving and animeifying all the designs, like with Danger Room, and all that stuff.
Okay.
You know, so that's it. Last time I forgot what's her name, the promoter, what's her name, I believe.
Okay.
And yeah, like they teased her, and so that means like he's probably there, and now we got to see him.
Many.
Like the
You've
boots.
defeated whole worlds, but
Like the
you've never fought Doom. Let me show you.
Oh, Sungwon.
Yeah, Pro ZD.
Think you're a genius, Doom? Your works are mere trinkets. My genius is endless.
Yes.
And now my turn. You made promises.
Magnus!
And those promises shall be kept.
Okay, alright.
Nothing, Eric.
It's hard not to get high from Magnus.
Mutant kind shall rise.
Oh, he's using a bunch of metal.
Be the one to lead the way.
Different Magnus.
Goblin.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Great. Attacks the glider. Whoa! Yo, he just dodged the shit like in the movie. He dodged the thing like in the movie.
You caught it. You caught it. I was about to say, do you remember Spider-Man 1? You remember Spider-Man 1?
That's so good.
I was about to say.
Arxis?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Spider-Man 1.
I know. That was fire. That was fire.
Reggie knows game. Reggie knows ball. Reggie knows ball.
Holy shit. I like how he's using his glider. That's pretty cool.
Oh!
Time to stop laughing.
Whoa! But he doesn't kill him.
He probably has to duck like under like Frieza. Yo!
Maximum carnage.
Okay, everybody wanted Carnage forever.
Finally. Finally.
Attack! No mercy.
Let me do it. I'll snap you up. Don't be
Okay.
He's mine.
Now, okay, dude. Now you got my attention.
Look at this team.
Now you got my attention. What is this assembly?
Look at this team.
The end is near.
That is a fucking team,
Okay,
dude.
all right.
The Knights of Doom rule. So sick.
They got 4 monsters together.
Doom, Magneto, Green Goblin, Carnage. Fucking perfect team.
Okay, that was pretty freaking good, dude.
Like I'm saying, man.
Like, okay, I'll be honest. I was like, Tokon,
Yeah.
whatever. There's a million games right now,
I
right
know.
here.
I know, and we talked about the changes they've been making.
Yeah.
But it was like it came out, we touched it, and it put itself in a disregarded state.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, we'll look at you later. There's plenty of time for you to come out.
Agreed.
And now this trailer is like,
Whoop. And the system changes.
oh, okay.
So Magneto's fucking goated. That's like, I love the fact that it's very different Magneto pulling metal,
Yeah, he's using a bunch of metal,
right?
like,
Doing a very different thing.
disruptors and
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah.
Not recognizable. Green Goblin has just never been playable as in a fighting game or in anything like this, because Green Goblin is one of those Sinister Six characters where it's like he's so quintessential to Spider-Man, but is not really the one that gets the emphasis.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just easier to go with, because think about like it's easier to think of a more dynamic way to play like a Doc Ock or a Rhino or something like that, you know. But that's so cool. Like here, you got the bombs, you got the glider, he separates from it. You know, maybe that'll be interesting to like have a little puppet character going on with it, or a bit of a boomerang system.
Yeah, I wonder, like when I saw the glider come back, that was impressive. That it was like the movie, but I wonder if he's gonna have to duck like Frieza when he does the
avoid
discs.
your own things.
Yeah.
It could be a really interesting character where you like have a really good projectile that, you know, comes back and you have to work the angles to optimize.
Okay. Yeah.
And fucking finally, after all this Venom, you know.
Yeah, it's to the point where I like Venom. I'm like, okay, yeah,
because
whatever.
everyone loves Venom.
Yeah, he's there.
Venom is
I'm like, okay,
the
yeah,
most
he's there.
popular thing ever.
All right, cool.
But Carnage has been ignored for so
Never.
long.
Never.
Finally, Carnage is in it.
Like,
That's a great team, man.
like,
Yeah.
for me, Carnage is like, yo, I remember the Super Nintendo game. You know, like I wasn't there. You know,
Maximum Carnage, separation anxiety.
Yo, and then
Green
like
jelly.
never saw him again.
Yep.
I'm like, damn, that's sad. He should be used a lot more.
I mean,
Is he even like in the movie?
Yeah, go watch the movie. Go watch Woody Harrelson. You know?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. No, man. Cassidy, you know?
No, that was pretty good. That was pretty hype.
And you know, so they've been basically like each of the characters that were in the demo is like captain of they're one of their own teams. So we're seeing each of those. So we saw the X-Men, we saw the Avengers,
Yeah.
etc. You know, and now they have one more team that they're gonna.
And that's Ghost Rider's team.
The Ghost Rider team.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we still don't know the name yet?
No.
Okay, we know nothing.
But like more than anything, I'm just impressed with the picks being a mixture of solid, famous, high demand characters and interesting left field stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they didn't just go for most popular Marvel characters, top
Wolverine,
top
Storm, Magneto,
25 go.
Cyclops, everything.
Yeah, you know, like the most boring picks. It would have been really lame to do that. So that's very, very cool. I hope that there's still room for like a Shumagorath type, like weird freak, not even humanoid.
Not a humanoid,
shaped.
yeah.
Shumagorath, MODOK, right? There's space for these characters, and I would love to see one.
MODOK had a show recently, right, with Patton Oswalt making the voice.
Was there a MODOK show?
I think there was a MODOK show. Yeah.
Cartoon?
I think cartoon. I'm not even sure, but I would assume cartoon, right?
Okay.
It was odd. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. When's Fin Fang Foom? Exactly. Give me my big dumb dragon. That's it.
Fin Fang Foom.
Fin Fang Foom.
All right.
Fin Fang Foom. One of the first Marvel cards I had back in the day. Yes.
Fin Fang Foom.
Yes. Fin.
The hell is that?
Fang Foom. You heard correctly. It's Fin Fang Foom. What do you mean? What the hell is that?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What the hell is that?
It's Fin Fang Foom.
All right.
What questions could you possibly have?
Made IGN's list of top 100 comic book villains of all time.
There you go.
99. Got it.
There you go. Okay. That's it.
Last appearance. I don't know when.
That's all you need to know.
Damn.
All right. Yeah. Anyways.
Got it.
There's a billion of these freaks to fucking pull out of obscurity. Playable Howard the Duck, run it.
Yeah, people would be down actually.
Run it.
Yeah.
If I mean, Rocket counts. That's a character that we care about now. So no, pull something nice, weird, and non-human for that last little bit. Give us a team of some freaks, and I'm all for it. It was very exciting. It was very cool. What? Yeah, I don't think there's anything else you'd care about that much. Wolverine looks good. Looks fine. Looks good. It's like Spider-Man, but he just kills everybody.
Oh yeah, I saw like 15 seconds of that.
So
and he's jumping on like motorcycles and it's like and being Wolverine.
I mean, there's been some cool stuff going on with Avatar, like Azula, and
I saw the Azula reveal.
You saw Jeff getting in front of the camera,
doing his poses and everything.
Jeff's
like, why are you trying to be cute like that?
Jeff's mogging for the camera.
Yeah,
you know?
I was like, why are you trying to be so cute?
Where'd this come from? Going for it.
Yeah, there was the reveal and there was the gameplay explanation, I think. Damn.
Yeah,
can't be fixed, man.
She's interesting because one of the main gameplay mechanics is tied to her win-loss state,
which is that's bold. That's a bold decision.
That's a really bold decision.
True power is something I was born with.
Oh my god. There's gonna be an army of Azula, man.
Yeah, Azulas and Zuko's for days. And Korra's for days as well. Super Shoto.
With the fire carpet. Oh! Unblockable.
The lightning.
Unblockable lightning.
Full screen fire carpets as well.
You're a quitter and a loser.
Movement. Got a flow.
Oh my god, that dash. Counter!
How dare you!
So
I'm about to celebrate becoming an only child.
So when she loses a round, she goes from regular to Fire Lord mode. And like, so you get it only in round 2 or round 3.
Yeah.
But if you play a perfect game, you don't get into it. And it changes her moveset. And like she goes from being able to like double air dash and do things like that to like one big commitment with more damage and more risk and more reward.
Okay.
She's safer when she's calmer, and when she loses,
she throws it all
she
out.
becomes high risk, high reward.
That's sick.
So interesting.
Does the stage change, or is that just for the trailer?
I think for her in this stage it changes to blue.
If so, crazy good.
I think it specifically changes for her when
That's
she changes
so
modes.
Cool.
That's what, yeah, the maximum salt mode. Or you can pick one of her assists to always be in Fire Lord mode.
All the movement. Look at this!
Yeah,
Look at this!
Yeah. Up, down, up, down.
Yo!
Sorry it has to end this way. Here's where we say goodbye. Pathetic.
Oh my god.
You were never even a player.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
She's landing and re-jumping. Yeah. No, that I love bold decisions like that where it's part of the character's kit is changing according to what round it is and how you played, you know? I love that. I love fun shit like that. I don't know that we've ever seen something like this, right? Where across rounds it just changes completely. There's obviously been Manal medals and you know, little mechanics like that where you get a benefit that stays in place. But I've never seen, I can't think of anything like this where it's like, oh no, you lost a round,
you're
shit
a new,
changes.
different character almost. Yeah.
The guy from Melty, Vlov. Oh yeah, okay, we gotta. I don't know about that.
What happens with Vlov? I'm not sure.
There's a dude in Melty that does that.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking very cool. And then of course there's all that Sokka stuff that happened before as
well.
Right. Where
with the boomerang and everything.
Yeah. Did he get a dedicated trailer or did they? Because I know there was the exhibition with Jay Wong.
There you go.
Come get some.
There's so many cool things to look at. Just their expressions, you know.
It's so faithful.
Yep.
They dodge. Oh, which way? Boomerang tossed backwards.
Oh man, it's gonna be so fun to lap this game.
And that sword improving in damage every time you use it. Yeah. One of his variations is like the sword just gets more and more damaging each time you get hit with it.
Throw the book at it.
Books. Oh.
Learn it.
Oh, they don't show the girlfriend install.
Not in the trailer.
No, okay. Yeah, the makeouts. You saw that though, right?
Yes. Making UA mad.
Makeouts for level 3. Oh yeah, doing the worm. That's great. And then last, did you see the tease for the next character?
Yes.
I didn't know the lore. I have to say, I did not know the lore. So let me
this video, right?
Not this video. Let me see. It was her it was her tutorial video, right? It was a character breakdown.
Oh, it might have been at the end of the breakdown.
I think it was part of the yeah, it was the dev diary video. Yes, okay. So there's our boy.
Look at this guy.
Look at Jeff.
Looks so cute. Like,
yucking it up. On camera. At the basically after walking through
a bit after this,
Maximilian's gonna get the world premiere of Kiyoshi.
He'll be.
I did not know the lore. I did not know.
Dude, I didn't.
Oh!
I did not know she was this massive.
All I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman. I'm fucking floored because I knew Kiyoshi was because I know there's books. And everyone says that you read those books and you find out that she goes fucking hard and gives no shits and is not
the hardest of lines.
Is not a teen cartoon entertainment character. She's no fucks given with the Avatar state.
Does not mess around.
And she's a grown-ass woman doing her shit. I had no idea she's also canonically 7 feet fucking tall.
That I did not realize. I did not know.
Kiyoshi Wemby. That's insanity. It's like, at first I was like, hold on a minute. I get that they're children, but that's too much.
That's a bit much.
And then it was like, no. They are children, but even if they were adults, Kiyoshi's fucking 7 feet tall. Bro. God damn, dude.
Yep.
And you're the Avatar? That wow. Yeah. So
peace at all costs.
I mean, again, I hear those books are good. I don't know what she does in them, but whatever it is, people are they're afraid.
Yeah.
They're shook.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, he does say stuff to Aang when he's trying to find answer.
True.
And he's like, that's not the kind of answer I'm looking for.
True.
What the fuck?
And she's like, bitch!
Dude.
The fuck did I say? Yeah. All right. Bye, Kyoshi. Yeah. Scary shit.
Oh my gosh.
Very interesting. I'm spoilers, but she freezes a dude's lungs? Oh. Okay.
That's cold.
Okay.
That's cold.
Okay, we're on that blood bending shit.
Okay.
That, like, what if we used our bending to do things inside your body? Yeah. The scariest use of powers. Anytime you have that moment, right? What if Magneto pulls the
iron out of your blood type of thing?
Exactly, right. What if I used my powers to do something really terrifying inside of you? Oof. All right. Well, anyways, I'm that, and if I feel like this is someone who, you know, made it into the base roster that would have been the most voted choice. So with that confirmation, what's that vote going to be? Probably another Korra character, Uncle Iroh.
Iroh would be cool.
Iroh would probably be the one that people want to see the most.
Yeah.
But if not him, then I'd say another Korra character probably.
Cabbage Man won't get in there. Maybe as a assist in the background, maybe. It would be, well, if Cabbage Man is like the equivalent of Dan, and he's like a funny
Tenzin, would that be fun or would that be boring?
Yeah,
I don't think I'd like Tenzin.
Boomy would be cool.
Boomy is a possibility.
Yeah. There's a few characters in Korra, but you haven't seen that.
Yeah, I think more Korra representation would probably be the way to go more than anything. Just because, like, he's there, but she's the only one. Juan. Avatar Juan. The first.
Okay. I would have to see what that entails.
The dude who has the it's in season 2 of Korra. You get the how the Avatar state came to be. Do you remember that special with the white yin demon and the yang one?
Okay. I forget, man. It's been
okay.
Yeah.
In fact,
I need to do a second pass.
I thought there was a chance we'd see him anyway, to be perfectly honest. Whispers and rumors and words. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's this guy, Avatar Juan. He had a special where you learned about him and his world of spirits, and the two things, the two big spirits, the dark one and the light one, that led to the creation of the Avatar state to begin with.
Okay.
Feels like another solid source to pick from with a lot of moves, and you know, you have a whole episode dedicated to him, so like you have a whole character to pull from, and not just like someone who shows up in screenshots type of thing. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That would be a good character.
Cool. It's 2 episodes. Yeah, 2 episodes. Okay. What is going on? PhD in thuggery. 2 years. Wow. Just gotta say, I'm looking forward to many more years of supporting you and Reggie. Shame I missed on both plushies. Well, it's not too late.
You missed on the plushies.
It's not too late.
Do we have some news for you?
There has been, shockingly, who could have foreseen it coming? Who could have foreseen it?
Oh my god.
There is A week and 1 day left.
There's more time?
There's more time on the clock.
Well,
we have sacrificed our partner for more time on the clock.
It's time to get it now.
The Pandora system is in effect. If you have not gotten your Reggie in the Lab plushie, get it. And in fact, we gotta clip this and throw this up on the main channel to remind people that it's literally going to be gone forever
after this.
So don't complain and whatever. Do it now.
Man.
Do it now.
I'm kind of surprised that it went through. So thank you everybody who's getting one.
Absolutely.
That's pretty rad.
Absolutely. And I think we can hit that 400.
We can hit that 401, right?
I think we can hit that 401. If we can push this to 401, y'all, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, like I know I keep saying I'm not a person that gets merch, but
yeah,
when we went out in Toronto, people brought us merch, and I was like, you know what? This feels kind of good.
It's pretty cool.
And I think I ordered a few of myself.
Yeah,
you know, I'm gonna give one to my mom.
I'm helping. I ordered a couple.
You ordered a couple?
Yeah,
give
absolutely.
One to my mom.
That's it.
You went to some friends. That's pretty cool. It would be cool to reach 400.
There's some milestones, and yeah, if we can hit 400, that would be sick. So
a milestone for 400.
Let's do it.
That would be cool.
Let's do it.
And then we can celebrate.
Yeah. So we're pushing that, and we are going to probably remind you in the last 24 hours, just in case you haven't gotten it, you go and get your Reggie in the Lab plushie over at makeshift.com/products/Reggie in Lab.
Yes, do it. Get to 420.
I mean, let's go for 401.
401. That's a good goal. That's a good goal.
Yes.
The number went up. That's crazy.
The number went up.
Who did that? I don't know who it was, but thank you so much.
Order now.
Get it.
End of clip. Solidus.
It's right in there. Thank you so much.
On the main too. Cheers. Appreciate.
Didn't have to show an inch of ass too.
Didn't have to show an inch of ass yet.
That's pretty impressive. Oh yeah, there's still 8 days.
Yet.
We got time.
You know, and if you're tactical about it, it's like you don't have to show anything else. You can just butt.
Really?
You know?
Okay.
You just navigate around the rest of it and just, you know.
Got it. Thank you, folks. I won't ask anything else after this. Don't worry about it.
I'll never ask you for anything else ever again.
Lie.
Thank you very much for the super chat there. Bad Blood Bear, appreciate you. Rassendori, time to put Reggie in the ship to Earth. And that was from before. Okay. Yeah, all right. So we're going to just about wrap it up there, folks. We will be back. So the plan is tomorrow we're gonna get some more Phoenix Wright in.
Okay, yeah.
Finally, hopefully make it to the end of Turnabout Big Top. Saturday we'll be checking out Ingrid in Street Fighter 6, but also we will be playing some 2XKO.
Oh, word?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's hype.
And we're gonna get some 2XKO in there. And then I think that's the end of the week. More fun things to announce for next week when the time comes. I know we kind of informally were talking about maybe starting 14 Monday or so. It's not going to be Monday. So right now we're looking at perhaps pushing towards potentially Wednesday. I think that's kind of what we're looking at. So if you are curious, we're here. But in the meantime, y'all, what's going on?
All right. Well, you can check us out on YouTube. The name of the channel is WoolieVersus. We have new episodes coming your way. Actually, in case you missed it, there's a bunch of best ofs that dropped. We have the best of Dispatch, as well as the best of No, I Am Not a Human that came out in the last few days.
Shout out Civ.
Shout out to Civ Sarcast doing the good work. Also Pragmata, the last episode was You Cannot Waste a Single Bullet there will be a new set of episode coming your way real soon. And tomorrow we're doing Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, like Woolie said. There'll be more of that coming as well.
Yeah, and a couple best ofs of some of the short things we've been playing through as well. We recently went through a couple of short games. You know, we got those two, Dispatch and I'm Not a Human, but we have other things coming like Batman, for example. Some other games that we stopped through, Legacy of Kain. You know, please look forward to those best ofs coming your way shortly. Come hang out tomorrow, and let's see where this fucking clown shoes ass case is gonna go. All right,
jail.
Take it easy, everybody.
Peace out.